support October 7th.
Just say that's a Jew.
That's what I do.
That's why I do. I do support. Just saying Jew. I'm out.
That's not a Jew because he has a literally like Old Valley accent. Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm so sorry. Benny, get me out. I just have a question. Like, you said PFLP and the PLO, they committed acts of terrorism, and I assume majority of them agreed because they stayed quiet. Can you please tell me how, like, which terrorist activities did these groups commit?
A lot. Like, there was the one with the DFLP invading from Lebanon and then catching, like, I think it was like 100 children from a school and holding them hostage.
You're using terms so loosely. When you talk about Palestinians doing all this, it's not invading. We're in our country. We're doing this in a country that we're in.
They did it from Lebanon. They did it from
They were exiled to Lebanon.
Yeah, I know. Okay. If you're hung up on the term invaded, I mean, whatever, they came in from Lebanon.
No,
but that's not the point. The point is that they held a bunch of children hostage from a school.
How is that terrorism?
They're a civilian population. You're using acts of violence, namely holding them hostage and they killed them. Well,
that's in a normal society. Israel is the majority of Israelis, not all Israelis are settlers. So if you would actually like take objectives.
Yeah, these weren't settlers. These were in like 48.
Yeah, but Israelis in 48 are settlers.
Okay, so all of them are settlers.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, all right, fine. So all of them are settlers, yet there are civilians amongst those settlers, right? And children?
No civilians.
No, children are not civilians.
When I say they're all settlers, that's not my personal opinion. It's actually international law. Israeli Jews in Palestine are all settlers in 48.
That's fine.
Everywhere. Yeah.
Shit, I don't think that's true. But even I'll go with it. That's fine. There's still civilians amongst those settlers. Not all of them are a military asset. Like the children.
They're collateral damage. They're not.
Okay, that's fine. You want to call it collateral damage, but they're still civilians.
My equivalent did.
Okay, so you're using acts of violence against civilians to exact a political goal.
I'm still waiting on one case. I'm still waiting on one scenario where Israeli children were deliberately attacked just because they're children. There hasn't been one case.
They went to a school, bro.
I think it happened by mistake, but that's not the point. You can bring up other examples that are better than this. Because the objective here was not the school, but it happened by mistake. They got lost.
No, if you're talking about October 7th, he did not go to a school.
No, he's not talking.
No, I'm not talking about October 7th. I'm talking about the DFLP. As you asked me to,
he's talking in the 70s.
Yeah, I think even in the 70s, all of this is fucking Israeli propaganda. They never went to a school to kill children. Yes.
No.
Yes, there's not even a single source that we can authenticate as Arabs, as Muslims, okay?
I'm pretty sure they
No, it's not authenticated, brother. It's not authenticated.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. It's called the Malot Massacre.
Okay, show me something from an Arabic source, not just from a U.S. or an Israeli or pro-Israeli source.
Sure.
No, check out what the DFLP itself said at the time. But regardless, there are examples of like the Olympics and the
Olympics is another example. Yeah. I just wanted one closer to home, but yeah.
Yeah, but like if both these are reactionary acts to what?
Yeah, sure. They are. That's why they are acts of resistance, but they are also terrorism. That's why it's not necessarily mutually exclusive. Right? You can have an act that is both terroristic in nature and resistance in nature.
No, because when the premise of it is to resist, it can never be terrorism.
No, it can't.
That's not what you're understanding. That's not what you're not understanding. No, you can't. Because resistance and terrorism are two definitions that can never cross paths together.
They can.
No, they can't.
Of course they can.
Because the main idea of resisting a power that is occupying you is not, I'm not pushing my agendas or political beliefs in Palestine. I am a person who grew up and who was born and who's originate from that region. So whatever I'm doing there, it's not me pushing my political opinions or trying to gain political means in Palestine. Because if I'm doing that, I'm actually trying to basically regain the country and regain my political freedom in the country that I'm in.
Yeah, it's different. I agree.
Oh, Susan, I'm not like necessarily agreeing with you. I'm pushing back to see maybe you're right, but in what was it, Irish, right? The Irish, when they were trying to fight back, they would like blow up pubs, and it was understood that they were using terrorism for resistance, and for them it worked out pretty good. Like it actually worked.
Yeah, but again.
No, but Susan, I see what Stella's saying, and I see what this Benny Goy guy is saying. But yes, like linguistically, definition-wise, yeah, you can call it terrorism, but people don't use it that way. When you want to say something is a terrorist act, you're underlyingly saying it's not justified.
Yeah,
because it's demoralizing.
Yeah, exactly. But Mr. Benny Goy wants to be a smartass.
No, I'm just being intellectually honest. Like the IRA is a good example. They blew up pubs in like London, right?
Yeah,
to achieve a political goal. That's terrorism.
No, that's not terrorism.
It was.
And like the guerrilla attacks that happened in South Africa, that's not terrorism too. You're using the term terrorism so loosely here just to apply it on people who are trying to regain political power.
Yeah, like if you can't compare the IRA to quote-unquote 9/11, for example.
Guys, this is a very rigorous academic exercise. I'm not interested in it. Let's deal with the topic at hand.
This is literally the topic.
No, hold on a second. So, I want you to cook me food because you're a good cook. Okay, so, Benny Adam, you view October 7th as warranted?
I would say the attack of military assets was absolutely, legitimate. But when it came to anything done to civilians, that was not, especially if that was the impact. Right. So if you can establish, and I haven't done this personally, that civilians were directly targeted, but in order to be taken as hostages or to be killed or whatever.
Have you established that? That's
no, I literally just said that.
I want to answer. Ask me, Frank.
There are no civilians over the age of 18 in Israel, by the way.
That's not true.
That is very
Ask
true.
me.
No,
I agree.
absolutely not true.
1 second, Phil.
What are you talking about?
Okay,
man?
so.
Like you're telling me a 75-year-old and 90-year-old is not a civilian?
Yes, no, they're not.
Okay, hold on, but you don't know if civilians were targeted, okay?
Wait, are the Haredim? Hold on, are the Haredim civilians?
No, they're not.
No.
Those are often dodgers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do they pay taxes to the state? No.
Anyone over the age of
Okay, so wait, hold on. They pay taxes. So the Israeli Arabs, the quote-unquote Israeli Arabs, the 48ers, they're not civilians.
You know what their problem
No
is?
choice.
It's their land.
No, but they're not civilians. I mean, you're saying no one over 18. That includes the Israeli.
That's their land.
It's their land.
Okay, but they're not civilians?
No, of course they are. It's their land.
Okay, so someone over 18 is.
Yes, someone over the age of 18. If they're Palestinians, then they're civilians. They're innocent. If they're not, Allah, someone.
Okay,
Wait,
the Druze are Palestinians. Are they civilians?
The Druze are not Palestinians.
Oh, the Druze are not Palestinians now.
Fuck the Druze.
they're not.
Shedcuts.
They don't identify as Palestinians.
Benny Goy.
Actually, some of them do.
Well, I've never seen one.
Okay,
Maybe
if there's one Druze that doesn't join the IDF and he sees himself as Palestinian, then okay, he's a civilian.
Yeah, but we're not saying they're not civilians just because they're not Palestinians. You need to understand the pecking order.
That's literally what you just said.
No, but he didn't give you context because he thinks or he assumed you know. Israel is a militarized society. Anybody who's above the age of 18 and Jewish is required to serve in the military. They all hold guns.
That's also not true.
If it is true, actually.
No, it's not. You can do national service. There are plenty of Jews
in their parliament.
Yeah, but you still,
No, but that's not only
you still receive military training.
I'm saying a 35-year-old who refuses to join the IDF is still not a civilian.
Yeah, because they get present if they refuse anyways for 2 years. So Yes, everybody above the age of 18 who is not Muslim or Palestinian in the state of Israel is not a civilian.
You're not Christian.
That's their parliament.
No, you can do national service instead of serving for the military.
Yeah, but that's terrorism. Their national services is the act of terrorism.
Bring
not
okay,
normal.
bring bless the nationalists.
Yeah.
Not bless.
In addition, so if you're going to use that logic, then in Syria there was no civilians because also mandatory conscription. Except for
Are they actively occupying another people's land? You gotta ask yourself this question.
well, yeah. So, for example, they were actively occupying Lebanon for decades, right? So that would legitimize any Lebanese to attack any Syrian inside of Syria.
And not inside of Syria. No. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Susan. I'm gonna disagree with this. If they attack any Syrian who is actively in the military inside Lebanon, then
You didn't limit it to actively in the military. You said because they served in the military.
Again, because it's their land. There's no two entities.
Okay, so there was plenty of Syrians.
No. Because Syria and Lebanon, two different entities, two different countries. Israel does not exist. So everything is happening under one entity, which is the Palestinian entity. They're trying to take it from us. So,
okay. So any Syrian inside of Lebanon who wasn't part of the occupation but did serve in the Syrian army, it was just a regular Syrian working a regular job, that person would be a legitimate target because they once served in the Syrian military that occupies Lebanon.
Yes, that is called collateral damage. Yes.
Wow, I've never seen that. I don't think any Lebanese would make that argument.
No, they would actually.
No.
Normal people would, because that's how it should be. If you're complicit in a system that is actively killing and occupying,
and the international law disagrees with you on that.
society, who cares about international law?
Well, you cited international law.
Babies.
You were the one who cited international law by saying that every Jew inside of Palestine, 48 or 67 is a settlement. You're the one who said that.
Wait, are they not settlers?
Hold on. Are you doing the Jew thing where like you cite international law when it benefits you, but then you say fuck international law when it doesn't?
Can I I was not citing international law when I said that fact about Israel. I told you it's in their own, it's in their constitution. It's not international law that talks about that.
You actually said it international.
Number. No, I didn't say. I said international law about something else. It wasn't about civilians.
It was about that. No, it was about settlers.
I was talking about open air prison and that's it.
No. Talking about whether or not the 48ers were settlers.
So, Beni Adam, I have a question for you. In your opinion, does Israel have the right to exist? Yes or no?
As a Jewish state, no.
Does Israel have the right to exist? Not as anything. Does Israel have the right to exist?
I have a better...
Theoretically speaking... Theoretically speaking, if after 48 they didn't ethnically cleanse single person, right, and gave everybody equal rights, then I wouldn't really care.
He didn't ask you that, though. He asked you, do you think it should exist? Don't do hypotheticals.
As it exists today, no.
Okay.
As what Israel is defined as today, no, I don't think it has the right to exist.
So you're saying Israelis have the right to exist in Palestine had they not ethnically cleansed the Palestinians? So?
And given equality given equal rights to all of us. Yes.
Okay. You're the definition of a scumbag. Literally, the definition of a scumbag.
That's fine.
So you believe Israelis have the right to exist in Palestine?
Yeah.
Aside from this.
Just as, for example, Turks have a right to exist inside of Syria, right? The Turks came as invaders. They conquered. They ruled over us for like 400 years, but they're still there.
That is wow. You want to compare the Ottoman Empire and what it did in the Levant to what the Jews did when they came to Palestine?
No, it's the same in principle. That's the thing. The difference is the ethnic cleansing component. That's why. Had they not ethnically cleansed the population, right? Then yeah.
That's not true. The Arabs of the Levant were in the Ottoman government. They even reached the highest level of Ottoman government, and they even ruled over Syria and Palestine as representatives of the Ottoman Sultan.
Well, I mean, they ruled under the Turks, right? But again, this is what I'm trying to say. So had Palestinians been given equal rights?
Yeah, but you're taking away the consent of the native population. You're just like, oh, well, sure, you can live here.
Consent to
The native
coming in and ruling us for 400 years? No.
The native population did not have an issue with it.
Of course they did. That's why they revolted.
No, that's not true.
No, they revolted because of economic.
They revolted in the very beginning, but then later on they were just like, okay, this is it. Like, shouldn't have happened. But did they fight back? Of course they did. When they were conquered, they fought back.
Okay, so my question to you, Ben Adam, did Jews not live in the state of Palestine before 1948?
Yeah, they did. Quite small numbers, but yeah.
So that is already a right that Palestinians did not have. Okay? Jews were able to live side by side. We say this shit to fucking people who are living in Canada and the States for all of their lives when they don't know what was happening there. We bring up this point. I never thought for once that I would have to use it with someone that is considered my own people. Okay? So Jews did live in Palestine before the existence of the state of Israel.
Correct.
And that's their right. By you saying that if Israel exists in Palestine without ethnic cleansing and giving Palestinians equal rights, and then you compare it to the Ottoman Empire, that is bullshit. That is madness. And I want to know, in your opinion, what would be the ideal solution for Palestinians to get their rights? Are you
One state solution.
One state?
Yeah.
Okay.
One state with the right of return as affirmed in 1948.
What's the name of the state?
With 194.
What's the name of the
Honestly,
state?
I could give less of a shit.
You don't care about the name of the state?
No, I don't.
Let's indulge.
I care about how the people are living inside of it.
Let's indulge in another hypothetical. If the Palestinians
So,
have
like,
the power.
for example, Yahya, had there been no ethnic cleansing and equality rights given to everybody, right? Then theoretically speaking, under this proposed democracy, because they were trying to, or they implemented a democracy. So hypothetically speaking, there would be a democratic system in which all people have equal rights, and then they can determine, the majority of people, which by the way would be Arabs, right, would determine the name of the land through a democratic process. If they want to call it Palestine, they can call it Holy Land. They can call it Holy Land. They can call it whatever they want.
I want to do the exercise that you did yesterday. I have another hypothetical. If the Palestinians have the power to establish full control over the land of Palestine and remove the settlers that have been ruling them, is that justified?
I would say no.
Then why was it justified with the Algerians?
I don't think that it was justified with Algerians.
So you don't think the Algerians had the right to kick 2 million French people from their list?
Well, they didn't just kick out French people. They also kicked out Algerians that supported the colonists.
Yeah, collaborators, that's fine.
Yeah.
Algeria is actually the French evacuated all their citizens.
Yeah.
I guess that might have been one of the conditions. I don't know.
But they also kicked out, by the way, the Muslims that supported the colonization.
That's totally fine. I would support kicking any collaborators too. Why aren't the Palestinians, the true owners of that land, justified in wanting to remove the settlers who've been killing them and stealing their resources for the past 100 years?
Because if you're going to do it, and you're not going to discriminate against, on a case-by-case basis, if you're going to do it wholesale, that would be considered a fund. Right? If you're just going to say because you're a Jew, or because your grandparents came here 3 generations ago, then you're out. No, that would be ethnic cleansing.
Then in your system,
I would not support.
Okay, that's fine. In your system, even if a Jew didn't necessarily engage in war crimes against the Palestinians, he is still the beneficiary of 4 or 5 generations of resources and land theft from the Palestinians. How is that an equal footing for the Palestinians inside Palestine and the one outside? How
you can work out a system, because you can work out a system of reparations and whatnot, but the premise that everybody needs to start at an equal standing is kind of a ridiculous one.
And where is justice?
just one.
Where is the justice?
Right? This is like people are born unequal. Like this is just what's.
No, that's fine. That's
Some
fine.
people are born to like, very wealthy parents.
That's fine. But in this scenario, we're talking about settlers who stole and pillaged and killed. Okay,
Yes.
that generation was.
This has happened.
So can I confiscate the wealth of all the Jews when we establish that state? Am I justified in that, or no?
Ideally, that's not how I would do it, but that's a much longer like discussion, right? But just on the premise that you need to have everybody start at an equal point, this is Marxist in nature.
Not at an equal point, no. Right? I want to get back the resources that were stolen.
Yes, so you would have some sort of system of reparations, and it would be done on a case-by-case basis.
What reparations from who?
Right?
Wait, who's paying the reparations?
So it would probably be the state, actually. Like the
Wait, the state. So the state is gonna take the resources. Wait, the Palestinians will be paid from their own resources. That is justice.
Hold on. What I meant was the state that exists right now. They have a national fund. The state of Israel owns most of the land already, right? It's not most of the land is not privately.
Okay, but that state is gone in your scenario.
Yes. So, but that institution would still be there. That corporation would still be there, right? That legal entity. So that legal entity, you would probably exact some sort of reparations from it and distribute it in as fair a way as possible to.
Okay, and what about the land?
You would do the same thing because that's how you're gonna get from the land.
How will I do the same thing?
You would do this.
So can I kick out the Jews from houses and lands that Palestinians have the deeds for?
If you have the deeds for it, yeah, it would be on a case-by-case basis, right? If you have the deeds for it, then I mean you can make an argument for it, but there would be a legal system. Like this would be a very difficult thing to like hash out on a room on Clubhouse. But yeah, ideally speaking, just generally, yes, you would have a system of reparations for Palestinians, both 48, 67, and in diaspora. And you would have a right of return for Palestinians in accordance with.
And how are we gonna fit the needs? How are we gonna fit the needs and the get the land for the 7 million Palestinians residing outside?
Again, most of the land is actually owned by an organization. I forgot what it was called, but like it's not owned by a Jew.
Is there enough? Is there enough land and infrastructure to support the?
Yes.
Yes. How do you know that?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Dude, if you can squeeze 150 million people or 120 million people into like a tiny island in Indonesia, then yeah, you can fit 15 million people in Palestine. Yes. If done equitably, you can fit all the people that live there right now, plus the Palestinians in the diaspora.
Yes. But Benny Adam, hold on, just like, okay, everything you're saying is logical, like sounds logical in a utopian society and like in a system that is actually fair and just. But when I, as a Palestinian here, I'm telling you that I don't think it's fair that you force me to split Palestine with people that once upon a time ethnically cleansed my grandparents. It's not logical. I don't want to even do it. Like, I'm not okay with that.
Like to live there, man.
Right, huh?
Like to live there.
Well, I'm not here asking you to tell me that, I'm not here like to asking for fairness. I'm here to tell you that this is my right, and I don't want other Dodgers to be living next to my house.
And how do we have guarantees that they're not gonna do this shit again?
No, it's not even about that. I genuinely...
No, there's a trust issue too. That's a
friends, it's not only that. It's not about trust only. I don't think they deserve to be living next.
I agree with you.
Everything they did, and they don't even belong here.
I agree.
Like,
okay.
Like isn't fair, man. It's not about fairness. I'm not here.
Well, if Palestinians and Arabs started rounding up the Jews on boats, are you going to be an activist to save the Israelis?
Yes, I would oppose that.
Because you're a cuck.
Okay, that's
no,
you call me whatever you want.
Because
I don't think it's fair. I don't think.
I don't give a shit what you think.
Okay,
It is fair. It is. It's my land. It's my land.
Right? But if you look at it on a case-by-case basis, if you have some random guy who's born to Jewish parents,
right? It's not fair. You just told me.
Yeah, you just told.
Yeah. I know this is not fair, right?
But wait.
We strive for fairness.
Listen, you told him it's not fair, when it's his problems. But when it's a Jewish grievance, man, that's not fair. And then because that's your problem.
No, because Prince asked what I would do about it.
Yeah, no,
Right?
I'm just saying you put the value.
And now I think a one-state solution provides the most fairness.
Yeah, one state for Palestinians. For Palestinians.
I would say one state for everybody. Provides the most
For
fairness
Palestinians.
for the most people, which is why I do advocate for it.
Bro,
Will there be some unfairness to some people? Absolutely. That's unavoidable. But if you're trying to attain the greater good,
we're in the 21st century, and you're still talking about fairness. And you said that you would protest against sending the Jews back to wherever they came from. I'll protest against it too. Why would we send them back? Just fucking put them in prison for the rest of their lives, or put them in the ground. Anyone that served in the IDF, put them in the ground. No. Anyone that served in the IDF, put them in the ground. I don't care, even if they're freaking 90-year-old. If they served in the IDF, they deserve to be in the ground. They don't deserve a
Okay, but I'm not talking just about the IDF. Talk about the.
here's the thing. All of them are in the IDF. This is what you're not understanding.
no, they're not.
They are. If they're not actively in the IDF, they're in the reserves. This is what you're not understanding.
I mean, in general, that's true. There is cases where, you have like a 90-year-old woman who came from Argentina to live the rest of her years out. She never really served. She don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
That's, there's some individuals like that.
Okay, well then, as Susan said, collateral damage. F it.
Yeah, and also I don't understand why I, as a Palestinian, have to hold the burden of these Jewish bitches that came from Europe. Bitch, go the fuck back to Europe. Like, it's not my fault.
I mean, let's be honest. Look at South Africa. How is that?
69%, so approximately 69% of Jewish men and 56% of Jewish women in Israel served in the IDF at some point.
So you got this from ChatGPT, right?
Oh, I just Googled it, actually.
Okay.
All of them.
Yeah.
Gemini then. It's Gemini.
Whatever.
Okay, so how?
But it goes to show that, it's not every single person, right?
Look, envisioning that society.
Again, just because I'm Syrian and I know that like forced conscription is a real thing, and that doesn't signify any kind of political opinion or whatever. Yeah, I'm sensitive to this a little bit more. If you're gonna treat every single
The problem is the Syrians are the natives.
army,
Yeah, but they're natives to the land.
doesn't matter. If you're
They're natives to the land. It does matter. It does matter. It is the
That's not
point.
the point. The point is
It's
that
literally
you're
the
gonna treat
point.
every single person who served in the Syrian army equal to the Bashar al-Assad's regime. That would be retarded.
But you can't compare an occupying power to a civil war that happened.
I mean, there are a lot of people who call the Assad regime an occupying power.
Doesn't mean it is. It's not true.
It's kind of. It is.
No,
kind of
it's not.
was. Let's be honest here. The Alawis took over the nation.
Yeah, the Alawis are
Yeah, it was an
Syrians.
internal occupying power, but an occupying
That's
power.
just
nonetheless.
bullshit.
I mean, ask a lot of Syrians, they'll agree with me.
But
Yeah, but a lot of Syrians are dumb too. So.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, but it's the will of the people. I would say a lot of Palestinians are dumb.
And the will of the Palestinian. This is the funny part about Bani Adam engaging in these topics, because he comes at it from a very Western perspective, thinking, Hamas, Islam, so they want to. Bro, wallah, the secular Palestinians, they would do the same shit. They are even worse than Hamas. They don't have restrictions that Hamas has as a.
I know. I agree with you.
Yeah, I am a secular Palestinian, and fuck all the Jews, from the baby to the old man. Like, fuck all of them.
Yeah.
Fuck these oven dodgers. Fuck all of them.
And envisioning a society where we have one state and equal rights, dude. Like, well, it's gonna be. You look at South Africa, it's fucking bad, dude. It's fucking. They cannot coexist. And in Palestine, it's 100 times worse, 1,000 times worse than that. There will be no cohesion in that society. There will always be conflict and problems.
Okay.
Like, on top of the genocide, you're asking us to be nice to those who are committing genocide. That's what you're doing here.
Well, how do you think I feel about the Alawis? I say the same exact thing. These people genocided us.
Okay, but would you say the same exact things you just said to me and to the Alawis, to Jews?
You cannot compare that.
I know, I agree. You can't compare. The Alawis committed atrocities far worse than the Jews.
Yeah, but they're not. The Alawis were not trying to
exterminate. What? Yo, bro. This guy.
I don't know, man. They killed a lot more people. And it caused a lot more refugees.
Yeah, killing.
And it was like a sectarian, explicitly like Prince, no. Prince, no. They would grab people that are like atheists, right? And they'd be like, I don't care that you're an atheist. You come from a Sunni background, I'm gonna fucking torture you until you fucking die.
But let's
And they
not
had
blame
Sunni
the
doing the torture? Okay.
here. You're playing.
No, actually, a lot of the people doing the torture were Alawites. Some of them were
You
Sunni.
can't you can't compare both of them. But
Yeah, you can. Alawites are far worse.
Killing people. Okay, look. Killing people with the aim to maintain your grip on power is different from trying to exterminate someone's genome. Like those are two different things.
I don't know, man. The Iranians were trying to exterminate the Sunni majority, and that's why they were importing Shias and stuff like that. Like, they were doing some fuck shit.
This is why I say, there's a gray area.
Prince knows this. That's the thing.
Yeah, but that's a gross overreaction.
How about I ask you about the Nazis when they tried to exterminate Jews? Would you tell the Jews to coexist with them in Germany and just get over everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to take and then you take the ideology. That's why there's Jews until now in Germany. You have to take the ideology away, right? Obviously, I'm not promoting that, like, Jews stay Zionist, right? But yeah, so you have to like re-educate them out of their filthy ideology, just like the Nazis.
The Jewish occupation that was targeted for extermination were the Polish Jews.
No, so you're basically telling us to put Jews in concentration camps so we can teach them to become un-Zionist and then we can live with them. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, the majority of Germans were not placed in concentration camps to become
I'm talking about Zionists. I'm talking about Zionists.
Yeah, I know. You're going to analogize it with Germany. Yeah, there were Germans, ethnic Germans that were placed in concentration camps, mostly outside of Germany. In like what later became Poland and whatnot. But the vast majority of Germans within Germany were denazified without concentration camps. Similarly, you can denazify the Jews without concentration camps.
Okay. If that's the case, I agree. Then
No. The problem, hold on. Again, it takes us back to square one. As much as he wants to bring all these examples, it doesn't fit because the Germans are native to the land and the Jewish Germans are also native to that land. Here we're dealing with settlers. Listen, knowing that.
Not according to the Nazis, they weren't.
Sure, but they are. We know they are. Here's the thing.
Debatable, honestly.
Actually not debatable. Very assimilated people.
Wait,
assimilated, but that doesn't necessarily mean native.
Wait a second. Understanding the Palestinian culture, the Arabic culture, and the religion and the sentiment of the people, this will never work. It will never work. Are we gonna lie to ourselves?
No, we have. The thing is, we have a lot of people in the front.
Bro, you keep saying that when they came, we welcomed them. They didn't kill us. They didn't steal our land. They didn't. Oh, really? So
No.
Who?
Like the Turks. We didn't welcome them in.
For the love of
they
God.
conquered.
Yeah, Habibi, the Turks were not the only ones, and we were for the majority of the people were fine with the Mamluks. They were fine with the Turks. They were fine with the Umayyads and the Abbasids.
That's the point. Hold on. The Mamluks were conquered by the Turks. Right?
Yeah, Habibi, the sentiment of the people at the time was not anti-caliphate. The sentiment of the people was never... Yes,
No, they were anti-Ottoman. Yes, that's why they fought for the Mamluks, the Levantine people.
Okay, and then what happened? And when the Ottomans won, they did bay'at to the Ottomans. They accept it because they have a lot of commonalities and they don't have an issue with it. It's not the same with the Jews. Oh my God, bro. It's not the same. You cannot compare us accepting an Islamic rule to the Jews who came as settlers, stole, killed, and pillaged, and wanted to exterminate.
Steal, kill, and pillage? Of course they did.
Not to us.
Yes, of course they did.
Not to us. No, they didn't.
How do you think? Yes, the Turks were actually yes, they were. And they were the prominent class in Syria for a long time.
Well, he wants to compare the Muslim rule to that of the Israelis. It is not true. He's willfully ignoring the sentiment of the native populations of those lands at the time, and he's ignoring the sentiment of the Palestinian population today just to fucking win his argument. Yes, you are.
But one second, please. Wait 1 second, please. First of all, I don't even know why we're like painting the Ottoman rule as like Muslim. Forget about the identity of it.
I didn't say Muslim. He's the one that said Muslim.
I'm talking to France right now. The identity of it as like the essence and the definition of what the Ottomans.
Habibi, regardless, the people accepted it.
Let me finish. Even though it was occupation, it was colonialism. So it doesn't matter if it.
Yes, sure. You can say that. You can say that. But the point here is the sentiment of the people was not antithetical to it. It's fine. It was fine. They accepted it. The people accepted it.
Friends, you can't talk about the Ottoman Empire as just like one random event that everybody. It was a long period of time.
Yes.
The ending years of it, people.
Yes, I know. And the Turks were suffering too. But you cannot compare Ottoman rule to Israeli rule. You cannot do that.
You can't compare any rule to any other rule. You can't compare it.
But that's what Benny Adam is doing. The consent.
You can compare
those governed gave the consent to the governor. That's the point. Yes, they did.
At gunpoint, at night point.
And they accepted it, and did they?
At night point.
The people accepted it. You keep saying that. You keep saying that you have no evidence for that. You have zero evidence for that. The only reason we revolted in the past 100 years is because the economic situation was so fucking dire. People were starving. We did not revolt because we didn't want an Ottoman Islamic rule.
I didn't say anything about it wrong there. First of all, the greatest evidence is that they fought back against the Ottoman Empire when they were conquered.
Friends, they didn't want that. I don't know why you're like lumping both of them together.
And
Palestinians.
He is.
48, hold on. Palestinians in 48 accepted what Israel is doing because they're forced to. Imagine in 100 years somebody is saying, well, we consented to it. No, we didn't. We were forced to consent to it.
Same thing.
بلا it's the same.
بعد يا حبيبي احنا بفلسطين اصلا احنا الوحيدين اللي ما رحناش ضد العثماني اصلا. حاج تحكي يا رجل.
حبيبي العثمانيين they started pushing their language and their currency and everything.
Yes, that's at the end. That's why we revolted. That's at the end.
They weren't not just at the end. No.
طيب يلا. Let's do a revisionist history just to say that Jews settling in Palestine have a right because the Ottomans did the same. The Ottomans came. The Ottomans exterminated us. The Ottomans kicked us out of our houses and made us refugees because they wanted the land. It's not the same thing.
No, my point, friends, is that there are a lot of different groups of people in the Levant that are not necessarily strictly native, quote unquote.
We don't, and when we fought, because of the populace.
Greeks, there are Armenians.
We never viewed any of those as enemies. Even when we were fighting the Ottomans, the Turkmens were not viewed as enemies, and they are not viewed as enemies today. That's the point. The Jews are viewed as enemies by the Palestinian people, not Zions, not Israel. The Jews are viewed as the enemy of the Palestinian people.
There is a difference. Like it's when Jews are claiming this like biblical bullshit thing that they're claiming, so that's a problem with Jewish people. It's not just because they're Jewish, right?
No, I agree. The ideology needs to be re-educated, but for sure.
Yeah, like now, trust me, if like Muslims, like if no, not Muslims, because like give me a minority.
If Greek Orthodox Christians, let's say, they favored the Greeks conquering the Levant to restore like the Byzantine Empire or some shit.
مثلا Druze or the other ones, Kurds, if they have the same ideology as Jews and they're like claiming that God once upon a time gave them and therefore I will hate them as much. And if Muslims do it, I will hate them as well. But like
there are Muslims that do it.
How?
I've been told. I mean, obviously not in big groups, but like I've been told by Muslims, by very extremist Muslims.
You said that. You just said that extremist Muslims.
Yeah. Yeah, but تخيل واحد يقول لي he was like some Nigerian or some like I think it was a Nigerian or Chadian or something like that. It was like me as a black Muslim, I have more right to Damascus than the Christian native person.
Yeah, but that's not even according that's not even according to scripture. You can't say that because the Christian has the right to that land. He owns that land, anyways.
It's about interpretation and whatever, right?
You hear me?
But the point is that he has this understanding, right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a fringe minority of Muslims.
I know.
Yeah, but with the Jews, it's different. With the Jews, it's different. It's not fringe.
No, I agree.
So here's the thing. When looking at polls of Palestinians about the future solution, till this very day, the majority of Palestinians maintain that they do not accept the one-state solution. They accept two-state solution, and there's a reason for that.
No, actually, they're divided on that.
No, they're not. I looked up the polls, and you can.
I remember looking up the polls. They're actually quite divided.
No, we're not. Look it up.
Well, these polls are fake, you guys. I live in Palestine. They never came for me with the census and asked me this question.
If they never came to you, it doesn't mean they're fake. Come on, bro. Don't beat this.
I mean, honestly, I'm always skeptical of polls or the shit in the Middle East because, like, just be honest, right?
When did
Anyways, the point.
Was it an Instagram story poll? Hey, do you support the two-state solution? Like, I don't understand.
Anyways, regardless of the poll, too, you know the sentiment. Mike, stop playing fucking dummy here. You know the sentiment. Will the Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank accept a one-state solution? No, the majority wouldn't. The majority would say that we want our own state. We don't want to be with the Jews. That's the. Now, there's a reason for the Palestinians supporting a two-state solution and not one, and that is because the Palestinians maintain that one day the power balance will shift and they will take the entire land. If you cannot change the sentiment of the people, then there will be no coexistence. And the sentiment of the Palestinian people is that.
Yeah, but it's not even sentiment. Like, this is the norm. In any society, you can't live side by side with people who did what the Israelis did to us. And I don't understand why we always have this conversation in Palestinian circles. Like, let's surround all Jews and ask them to coexist with Nazis. Or let's go to black people and be like, hey, can you live with KKK members and can you live with white
Okay,
supremacists?
but then Bani Adam is gonna tell you that you Bani Adam told you though, and it's a fair argument. He told you that they destroyed the ideology, but I'm not fine with that either. I don't care if they legit destroyed the ideology. I want them out.
Yeah, I don't care. Meaning,
No, but they do. I mean, there are Jews that live in Germany, right? There are black people who live in the South. There are, like I said, there's a lot of Syrians who live with Alawis.
Yeah, but they're still suffering. Every group you just mentioned is still suffering. They're not.
Jews in Germany are suffering. The fuck?
Forget about Jews in Germany. I'm talking about black people in the South.
Yeah, black people in the South are suffering, but that's not because of the KKK, right?
That's because of the ideology. That's because
No, that's because of a lot of other things. But
the system of
I don't want to get into
product.
this. Yeah, but it's for a lot of reasons. I don't want to get into. But the point is that yes, you can theoretically live side by side with a group of people that have historically oppressed you, right?
No,
so long as
because there is zero examples of people living happily ever after next to each other after once upon a time they fucked each other up.
again, it's the Jews in Germany.
And again, you can't compare that. We're talking about 7 million. We're talking about 50-50 population, right?
The Jews in Germany are fake bitches. I don't even know why you think they're normal, like they're okay there. These are the rich Jews who stayed there and they're happy because they assimilated. You need to understand that Jews can assimilate everywhere you put them because it's their religion. That's different.
Let them assimilate into Arab society.
Yes, they assimilate because being Jewish is a religious thing. But for black people, it's their like race. They can't.
Yeah, I agree. So let the Jews assimilate into Arab society. Khalas.
No,
make them Jews. Make them Arab again.
No, they can't assimilate with Arab societies because
they have historically.
Yeah, Habibi, they are white Europeans now. Khalas,
Habibi, it doesn't really matter. Actually, most of the Jews are Sephardic. They're not Ashkenazi.
Honestly, Mike, you keep falling into Benny Adam's trash, bro.
Listen, when we talk
Most of them are Sephardic, man.
Assimilate.
And it doesn't matter if they're Sephardic or Ashkenazi. At the end of the day, Jews have historically in the region assimilated.
Hey Adam, when we talk about whiteness and European mentality, we're not talking about skin color or ethnicity because like if you look at it, everybody is white in that region. But the mentality that they live within and they believe in, it's European, white European.
The mentality of the Jews?
Yes, they're white Europeans.
They're very Middle Eastern.
Even Sephardic ones, yeah, Benny Adam, even Sephardic ones are pretty much European white, bro.
Yeah,
they're like from Spain.
Not Middle
They're
Eastern.
North Africa.
bro.
No, like, dude, even the ones from North Africa and stuff, most of them were either coming already from France and Spain, or they were there in North Africa and already became, they brought in French rabbis for the Algerian ones, right, to make them more French, all that kind of stuff. They've been European for a minute.
Honestly, there's a lot of their lifestyle, bro. How do they live any different than Lebanese and Syrian? Lebanese. They're more comparable.
No.
واحنا بيموتوا شوفوا كيف يعيشوا, man. Come on.
Maybe don't be shallow. I'm not talking about just like quote unquote liberalism lifestyle that you're referring to.
And what else are you talking?
I'm talking about ideologically and beliefs. Like these people are white Europeans, regardless of their skin color.
What ideologically and belief wise makes them European?
Like anytime
Almania?
anytime you talk to an Israeli Jew, whether they're originally Yemeni or originally Ashkenazi, they always tell you, well, Israel is a democracy, we have tall buildings, we live like Europeans. They literally say it themselves.
Yeah, they want to be European. They don't actually make it.
They don't want to.
You want to talk about tall buildings? Go to the Gulf. And they have the tall buildings.
They are Europeans. Also, I'm not talking about tall buildings. They are the ones who are talking about it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. That actually, if you look into, because dude, I've been talking to Jude on this app for a while now, from Israel. They're actually very similar to us, believe it or not.
That's not true, dude. Go ask the Palestinians. You keep saying go ask the Palestinians before they see how similar. I can ping them in right now. Hold on, let me see.
We're not similar. I don't know why you think we are similar to them. I don't understand.
Yeah, and I take great offense to that, Benny. Go ahead.
Yeah, let them take offense to that. I don't give a shit.
Well, so I do.
You do. I don't give a shit either.
For starters, at least we never fucked babies and took them on an island and trafficked them. We don't do that as Arabs. Who did that? Jeffrey Epstein. What was he? An Israeli Jew? Period.
No, he wasn't Israeli.
No, he was a Mossad agent, an Israeli agent. What world do you live in?
You said he wasn't an Israeli agent?
He wasn't Israeli.
He was Israeli, okay.
He has an Israeli passport. What are you talking about?
Not that I know of.
Go look at his files.
Okay, can you bring up Dr. Adam in the audience?
Also, at least we're not oven dodgers. We never dodged ovens.
Okay, Dr. Adam. Dr. Adam is a Palestinian in 48. We're gonna have this conversation in Arabic because I don't think he speaks English fluently. So let's ask him the question whether or not the Jews in Palestine are similar to us. يا آدم بني قوي سوري بيقول إنه اليهود اللي بفلسطين حياتهم وعيشتهم طريقة عيشتهم وتفكيرهم زينا.
زي مين؟
زينا احنا الفلسطينية العرب.
مش بس الفلسطينية زي المنطقة أيضا.
نو.
يعني بتلاقي ناس مثلهم بلبنان بسوريا بهيك.
لا غلطان، انت بتحكي بجنون قاعد. اليهود ما حدا زيهم، الله ما خلقش حدا زيهم اصلا بالتعاملات. اليهود اول اشي عندك الدتيم متدينين، هذول مجتمع مريض ومنغلق على نفسه. حتى اليهود الثانيين اللي مش متدينين بحبوهم مش اصلا اوريدي يعني، ولهم حارات خاصة فيهم وناس متخلفين وما بيمسكوا.
قصدك الهيرديم صح؟
الحارديم. وعندك اليهود.
طيب الحارديم عندك زيهم بسوريا.
طيب خلينا أكمل لك هسا. قد ما يكون زيهم بسوريا مش راح يكون مجتمع قد السما يعني، كم من واحد. عندك اليهود.
لا بس مش الفكرة ذاتها. إنه في ناس متطرفين
خلينا أكمل
يعيشوا بنفس الطريقة بسوريا.
خلينا أكمل لك. عندك اليهود الثانيين اللي هم اللي في منهم يعني اللي غير متدينين، هذول في منهم يمين واغلبهم يمين متطرف.
انا بصغير صورتك علشان نكمل كلامك.
ليش يعني؟
احسن شيء.
لا عادي، ما تفرقش معي.
قسم اليهود.
يلا
المهم، فعندك كمان اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد اليهود اللي غير متدينين الوسط، هذول برضو يعني ضد الفلسطينيين عنصريين، واصلا اوريدي اليهود بيحبوش بعض.
قصدك اليهود العلمانية؟
العلمانيين نفسهم يعني هم كانهم
منهم بلبنان.
هم دخلفك اشي، هم رقص ومش رقص وكل شيء، ونفس اليهود المتدينين اجرام مش اجرام نفس الاشي يعني، بس الفرق اللهم انهم لبسهم غير ورقصوا مش رقصوا هالحفلات.
زي اللبنانية.
وعندك اليهود.
استنى شوي ادم، سوري بس تحكي له شيء لبني ادم. طب ما في امريكا زي هدول، هل هذا يعني انه هلا صاروا اللبنانيين بيشبهوا الامريكان؟
لا ما بالضروره، بس يعني شو عم بتقولي؟ لا بس شلون عم بتقولي انه هن على اي اساس؟
يا بنجي اللي مش شايف انا. المهم اليهود عقليتهم ما مش زي عقليتك اصلا يعني، عندهم انهم شعب الله المختار، وعندهم هاي العقلية، وعندهم الاجرام، وعندهم الف شغلة وشغلة يعني، وعندهم لهم ما تفكر انهم الناس زينين
يعني. انا قصدي يعني ما عم بقول لك انه الشعب واحد زيه يعني شعب واحد ما بيختلف ابدا عن بعض، اكيد حيكون في اختلاف.
يا اخي انت مثل كانك عم بتقول هم بشر واحنا بشر، هاي يعني ايش
بالاخير يا دكتور
الفكرة المركزية، بس خليني اروح لاني اوصلك الفكرة المركزية انه جوهر هاي الناس هو جوهر واحد، إن كان متدين أو غير متدين، إلا كل قليل منهم اللي هم أصلا ملحدين تقدر تقول يعني، هذول اليساريين على الآخر، بس الغالبية جوهرهم جوهر واحد، ناس بتحب الحرب، بتحب القتل، وبتحب الإجرام ومفسدين وشغل دمار يعني، تدمير يعني، عقلية تدميرية مش عقلية طبيعية. هذا واللي يسجل يودي لهم يروح يودي لهم كله. ما أنا اسمي الدكتور آدم. يلا الله
شكرا يا آدم.
شوف عند الأخير نحن عشنا معهم بمدة طويلة.
Then take it up to Syria, bro. You keep saying that. We brought you somebody from the 48. He's raised with them. He sees them every day.
وبجيب لك ناس من 48 بيقولوا لك بالعكس.
No, that's not true. Go ahead, but it's not mainstream Palestinian 48 sentiment. Again, you keep doing that. You want to engage with the fringes all the time.
يا أخي ما تقارن حياة اليهود بالدول العربية مع قبل قيام إسرائيل باليوم. لأنهم تغيروا، بطلوا زي ما كانوا عايشين بدمشق.
تغيروا وبيتغيروا مرة ثانية.
لا ما بتغيروا.
احنا بنتغيروا مرة ثانية.
زي ما تغيروا أول مرة بيتغيروا مرة ثانية.
For the rest of the audience.
They changed once, they can change it.
Benny going, you can't change people who fundamentally believe in a biblical book that tells them you're better than everybody else, period. You can't change that. No, you can't.
We don't want to invest in this. We don't want to invest in changing anybody. They can go see therapists in the US or something.
They should go like not only seek therapy, they should go, I don't know, like dodge ovens again. I don't care about what they want to do. Just leave us alone.
And by the way, let me be clear. Okay. If the sentiment of the Syrians is to kick out the Alawites, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I mind it.
Yeah, you do. You do that. I don't. I think the Syrians have every right to do that.
Okay.
And kick out every single individual.
I disagree with you. I think. I disagree with you. Collective punishment is generally looked down upon, right? It is an international, crime. And by the way, that very very same thought of
Israel been committing war
yes, that
crimes
very same thought of
for
justifying
80 years. Never
punishment
stopped them.
is exactly what Israel is doing to Palestinians. So you're actually not
It
that
never
different
stopped
than
them,
them.
and it never stopped them.
Yeah, sure, but that doesn't make it right. Just because they're doing something wrong, that doesn't mean you go and do the very same wrong thing. Collective
I'm not
punishment
doing
is
one correcting the wrong. I'm kicking them out.
yeah, by doing another wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right.
It's not wrong. It's fucking justice.
If it's not wrong,
When
then what they're doing is not wrong.
when somebody occupies your house, you go to the court to get the police and remove them by force. I will remove them by force because it's not their land.
Yes, you do it through the police, meaning that you do it through the legal system. What you're doing here,
I will
no
do it through
legal
the legal
system
system
will
of the
justify,
Palestinian state.
no equitable legal system would justify ethnic cleansing.
You keep saying it's ethnic cleansing. They're colonizers and settlers. and
Yes,
they're
colonizers can still be ethnically cleansed.
Yes, I will ethnically cleanse them. If you're hooked up with terminology, sure, I don't mind it. And get this, the entire Arab world, when given the opportunity, will do it.
Okay, fine.
Your opinion is fringe, does not represent the opinions of the Palestinian people, nor the Syrians, nor the Arabs as a collective.
That's fine.
Well, I thought he was king of all Syrians, though.
No, remember?
We are not people that get fucked in the ass and bend the knee like the South Africans or the Native Americans. We're not those people. We've never historically been those people. And you sound like an Orientalist who doesn't know the history of the region. Yeah, fuck up, bitch, faggot, cuck.
Oh man,
Fucking whitewashed motherfucker liberal, bro. Idiot.
I'm not gonna lie, you guys were hitting him with some bad takes to start, but
Not me. That was Mike, folks.
you let him take the lead with that. Oh, that's on
Mike. That was Mike.
Hey, Prince, how come you don't have a medal next to your name, bro?
I do?
You don't. I'm saying, how come you don't?
Because a lot of people have it, and I'm not a peasant.
I don't even see the karma thing next to your name. Why is that?
Because I don't believe in karma. I believe in my sword.
That's right.
One state my ass.
How's it going over there, Taco?
Chilling, man, chilling. Jack, is this
Taco, I have a question. Taco. Taco, I have a
It's a
question.
new one, yeah.
This is 50. Okay, I'll add you.
Taco, I have a question. If the Palestinian people shift the power of balance in Palestine and get the power, and they decide as a collective, we don't want these settlers to remain on our land, and they make deals with, they send the ones that have dual citizenships to whatever countries they have citizenships in, and they make deals with other countries and ship off the rest. Is that justified or not?
Are you talking about in the?
I'm talking about removing the Israeli, no, all of it.
Oh, all of it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I support Palestinian self-determination, whatever shape and form that takes. Prince, I don't want to speak out of school because I don't know if that I don't know what that would all entail. I mean, on the surface, it sounds fair to me, but I would leave that for the Palestinian people to decide.
This Iranian is based, unlike the cuck so-called Syrian and name only, who moved to the West and is fucking so hard just to be accepted.
Are you talking about Benny Goy?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Apparently, he went back to atheism. He's not a Christian anymore.
Are you serious?
I heard that. I don't know if it's true.
I don't think that's true.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think so.
Why does he call himself Benny Goy now?
He's really embracing the goy within, you know? So, it's a sad thing to see, but oh well. Oh, Ben. Snow Benny, get the fuck up here, Ben. Shit.
Nigga was talking politics. The nigga was talking to us about collective punishment. We're not the League of Nations. We're not the United Nations. We are the army of Muhammad in Medina, and we are the story of Bani Qurayza. And if you don't know what we did to Bani Qurayza, fucking look it up.
Wait, hold on. Snow Bunny is an Indian Zionist?
No, she's
No.
Galilean.
Will report you for anti-Semitism.
Everybody, that's crazy.
And it has an
Nobody
Indian
has
flag,
it.
so I'm kind of lost.
Wait, Caleb was talking about Dr. Adam not being as Israeli citizen.
Who?
Who's Caleb talking about? The chap.
He's talking about the friend you guys brought. Doctor, what's his
He
name?
is an Israeli citizen.
But Prince, one thing I do support, I will tell you I do support this, is U.S. citizens or dual citizens with Israel and going and fighting on behalf of the IDF. I agree with Tucker Carlson on that point that they should relinquish their U.S. citizenship.
No. I want to pick them back to the U.S.
Well, they got to pick one or the other. Like, one of the things about being a U.S. citizen is you have to be willing to bear arms for this country. You can't fight for two different militaries. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree with that 110%. I mean, you heard it from an Israeli citizen on this app already. Came in here and exposed the whole thing. But yeah, man.
But then I'm telling you guys. Oh shit! Wait, is that okay? Hold on a second.
What's up?
Norm, I have a picture for you.
What's up, man?
Tila.
Yo, let's not forget Momo defended Epstein like it was his brother. Like,
You guys see a picture of them together?
let's not forget that.
Taco PTR.
I have the picture.
PTR.
That's so good.
But yeah, let's not forget though, he was defending Epstein like it was his own brother.
100%.
Yeah, he was defending on the fucking raping of underage women, man. Or girls.
Ethnic and religion brothers.
Hey Taco, how's everything, bro?
Hey, you guys, PTR.
Oh my god.
I saw this. I don't know if it's real.
You gotta
It's
go back to Poland.
Honestly, I wish it was real, but that's all I'm gonna say.
Amir's in this room listening.
You gotta when you go back to Poland. Bring it down.
Miguel. I don't think is he from Poland?
Yes. He was born there actually.
So yo guys, is there really gonna be like is the war started already?
No.
He doesn't believe he's Israeli, he believes he's Jewish. Like
No, with the Iran.
And Jay, probably in the next 10 days it's gonna start.
Oh my god, that's insane, bro. I hope everything's good, bro. Hopefully the regime falls off.
I don't believe it's gonna be that easy. I think
How long did it take in 1979 for the government
I'm waiting for the regime to blast.
How long did it take back in the day for the government to get overthrown in 1979 during the revolution?
it was a few years, MJ.
A few years? Okay.
Military stood with the military stood with the people.
I've seen some interesting photos. You know the Shah that like from back in the day. He's actually Muslim. I didn't know that. Like
Yeah.
like
I
he
mean,
was.
come on, Mohammad Reza. I mean,
I know, but like thing is like no offense, but like the grandson is like kissing the wall. Come on.
yeah, I never understood the whole kissing the wall thing. I don't think that means necessarily that you're a Jew or anything, but
Yeah, but you're definitely not Muslim though.
what I hear,
It's like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, what I hear about some influencers or some, I heard this. I don't want to say the guy's name, but he's a popular American comedian, and he said,
Miles
you know, they said no, someone else, not Iranian. Said that he was offered a free trip out there, free flight, hotel, everything.
With Bobby Lee.
Just to tour Israel, and then it's like they say it's free, but it's not really free because they make you
Tweak every 2 seconds.
post, everything that's very like pro-Israel propaganda.
Bobby Lee, yeah, for sure.
I see. You know Bobby Lee. Okay.
Of course, yeah. I seen that, bro. I seen that a long time ago.
Yeah.
The thing is, dude, honestly, at this point, bro, I'm just worried about Iran, though, bro. Like, I really hope the people, I really hope that Iran falls off, the regime falls off. Yeah, just hoping it's peaceful.
If the regime falls, there's gonna be a lot of problems, man.
Like what?
At least if it's related to.
Let me help you. Let me help you with that one, Amir. Jack.
Yeah.
Iran is not Syria. Iran is not Iraq. You don't know what you're talking about. Nothing's gonna happen. The Iranians are not gonna fight each other. The Arabs are not gonna take arms in the Hawaz and what they state. The Kurds are not gonna do that. The Azeris are not gonna reunite with Azerbaijan. You're just delusional.
Okay,
so did I do?
So, Jack, what do you think? What did you mean by problems?
What I mean
regime
is,
falls?
if they're gonna go try to capitulate, like take the head off the regime, right, and end it or change the regime, they're not gonna go down without a fight, right? So we're looking at anywhere from few months to a couple of years worth of fighting. Whenever you have that much destruction, you see refugees. And in a country like Iran, where you're talking about 90 plus million people, you have a lot of
You know how many
refugees.
Iranians are refugees right now outside the country?
A lot. And we all felt it already.
Like
right?
9 million, 9 to 10
Yeah,
millions.
exactly.
So that's 10% of the population. So Iran is already in a war situation with the regime occupying the land.
Yeah, and so it's going to get worse. So what you're going to see...
No, I don't think it's going to get worse.
Well, let me just tell you, I mean, you can disagree, but the 12-day war was nothing. But we're talking about regime change. It's much different than
People did not know it's going to be 12-day, though. If they thought it's going to be longer.
But for the most part, we're talking tit for tat, right? This seems more... And if it happens, it's not a guarantee, but... I just think a lot of the neighboring Arab countries, Gulf countries, are going to have to take in a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of...
do not go to Arab countries to be refugees. They usually go to Europe or...
Well, they go to both. They go to both.
Not many Iranians are refugees in Saudi Arabia or Iraq, I would say.
How are you going to go from Iran to Europe? You have to go through Turkey. Exactly.
Yeah. And Turkey doesn't have a problem with that. Is that the only issue
I don't know if
the fall of Islamic regime, Jack?
Yeah. Is that the
only thing you're worried about?
No, there's going to be a lot more, honestly. There's
in Iran, there's at least going to be
who's going to fill the power vacuum, right? Who's going to fill the power vacuum? And that's
so Iranians
right
are fighting
now,
for democracy and inclusion.
What we're dealing with,
the power vacuum.
Number one, real quick, what we're dealing with in Iran, we know what the evil is, right? Hold up. We know what the evil is, what we're dealing with the regime. What comes next, I have no idea. You say they're fighting for democracy. Democracy so far in Iran's entire history has never happened. And it's never worked.
In fact, it has happened before the...
But it never worked. It never worked.
It did, in fact. We had a
when did it work?
monarchy. Constitutional monarchy.
I was talking about
by the end of Qajar.
How did that end?
No, not the 50s. It was ended by Pahlavi taking over the power and breaking the constitution laws. So this time, Iranians are calling for inclusion, freedom of thoughts, freedom of religion, freedom of choice.
I know.
Equality of the citizens.
Wait,
so
what's that?
The movement,
the Iranians outside are calling for.
No, inside. Women life freedom.
I think
wait, Jack, Amir, I have a question. As an Iranian, would you rather... Hold on, let me kick this guy out.
No, I got you. Go ahead.
Too late.
I'm watching.
I blocked him.
Amir, by the way, he sounds like someone you can talk to. Not like a lot.
As an Iranian, would you rather live life like a Saudi or Qatari citizen with limited freedom, meaning you have more financial freedom, you have nice cars and a house, and you travel and you eat well and you have a maid, or would you rather live like your average American or average Eastern European with freedom with somewhere like it? Would you rather live like a Saudi or Qatari? No, why? But you have to choose.
First of all, the Iranian culture is not the same as the Saudis nor the.
Okay, I understand that.
So,
but you're telling me Iranians care more about freedom of speech?
Yeah, let me tell
than money.
Let me tell you, what the movement in Iran is chanting for is woman life freedom. There's no element of financial demand in those chants. Maybe the recent movement started with an economic problem and influence into it. But woman life freedom doesn't have any economic demand in it. I wouldn't like to live as a Saudi person, because the Saudi Arabian kingdom broke the record of its own country, executing 40 people in one day. So definitely that's not what I'm looking for.
No, you want to live forward with freedom.
No, yeah, definitely. I would like to live forward with freedom. First of all, Iran has a lot of natural resources, top 5 in the world, including gas, oil, and many other things, including rare earth. So we're talking about a different situation here. Eastern Europe is completely different. The idea of ruling over those countries were leaning towards left, with turning into dictatorships.
Okay,
most of them had dictatorships in them.
Let me rephrase
it. As an Iranian, I will just answer the last sentence. As an Iranian, I would like to live in a free society where inclusion and equality is prevailed.
I would take financial freedom over freedom of speech any day of the week. But that's me. Go ahead.
Can I ask where do you live? Can I ask you, Prince, where do you live?
I live in
Singapore.
And where?
I live in the UK.
In the UK, all right. So you chose something else. You chose the freedom. Probably your parents ran away from.
I think even Westerners would choose money over freedom of speech. But go ahead.
Based on what? Based on what? Based on what reference are you saying? Is it just your opinion?
Based on pure.
Okay, so it's your own opinion.
Amir, can I ask you something? You mentioned woman life freedom, right? How do you feel about Pahlavi supporters trashing people in their protests who hold the woman life freedom flag up?
I'm so confused. There's a big movement against those. Iranian diaspora is not Pahlavi.
Oh, can I ask you guys something?
They are included in that, but most of them are supporting fascist ideology, which is one-man ruling, which we have seen in communism, in Islam, and in any monarchy in the world.
Okay, so I have a question for the people, right? Especially for our Persian brothers. But who's in the right then at this point? Is it the government, or is it like the Pahlavi supporters? Like who's like actually in this war? Who's innocent? Who's guilty at this point?
In your life, there's never such a thing as this guy's innocent, this guy's guilty.
No, but like
you should never think in binaries.
No, but obviously when it comes down to like Israel and Palestine, right?
A lot more nuance.
Wait, I'm more interested in what I presented. Hold on.
No, but hear me out. When it comes down to Israel and Palestine, I know Israel's in the wrong.
Bro, like subjective.
Yeah, when it comes down to like Iran and this situation, what's going on? Like, I get confused.
Well, it depends on how you come at it. Like, of course, you're gonna have people on both camps, pro-mullahs and anti-mullahs. But Taco, I'm more interested in this question about financial freedom versus freedom of speech. What would you choose? Would you choose to live like a Qatari, or would you choose to live
like your average American? Singapore versus American.
$55,000 a year.
My opinion is if Iran, say, had all was economically very prosperous, if you could say, be dirt poor, even poorer than now, but you get freedom of speech, versus be economically thriving but have limited freedom of speech. My opinion, I don't have any like formal facts on this. I think most people would take economic freedom.
Exactly, that's the model that
One
they're
thing to let you guys know.
presented to the world.
One thing to teach you, Prince, probably you have some ideas that is based on
Yes.
just ideas, not facts. The countries that have equality among their citizens have higher GDP compared to the countries that do not have equality.
Yeah, but they don't. That's not. But I agree with you. But there's no correlation there. It's not about that. They look at them by case study. I mean, these countries that you're speaking of, have mostly engaged in colonization and stole resources and wealth of other countries. That's how they help propel them even further within the industrial.
Yeah, many of them.
I'll tell you something too, Amir. Singapore is one of the most desired places to live, and it's a great quality of life. You can make a lot of money. You can have everything you want, but the regime there is extremely iron-fisted. If you're littering, you're going to jail. It's complete dictatorship. They control everything.
Having one
They don't
example
tolerate
of a
crime.
country. Yeah,
No, China the same way. Well, China is the same way on a lower scale, right? So
I think
in
too.
China,
To China to live there.
In China, the people trust in the regime to provide them with a good quality of life. In turn, the Chinese people give them loyalty, and the Chinese government gives them good quality of life, and they give them stability. And they
I
give them
don't think
prosperity.
that's true, because
It works all over Asia.
Chinese students try to rebel against the regime and how they were messed up.
That's
You know what they did?
That's in 1989.
Economic situation
What
is not
they
the only
did,
thing. Yeah, what are you arguing? What's your point?
They were poor in
The point
1989.
is,
The Islamic regime is shit, providing both of them, neither economic or human rights. They just trash with that.
I get it.
What you are arguing for anyway. So Islamic regime doesn't provide any of
No,
We don't disagree.
we agree.
unless
But
to
the
their
thing
own
is,
mafia, which is the Islamic IRGC.
no, we agree. But where we disagree, I wholeheartedly disagree with you on this. The main impetus for the protest in Iran are not it's not freedom, it's not women's rights, it's none of that. It's because the people are suffering. There's poverty, and because of
So can you tell me
sanctions
what's the financial
and mismanagement by the regime.
freedom? Can you tell me what's the financial element in the woman life freedom chant?
This
No,
was
that's
a
exactly the point. I
women.
don't think.
This wasn't women life freedom protest. This was.
But this one,
There are chants of woman life freedom.
I mean,
Yes,
but you
to
agree
dictator.
that
That's not how this is going.
Wait,
this time around, people are not trying
Sorry,
to
I just have a question.
understand.
Anyone can answer, Taco. Sorry. What's the element in death to the dictator or regime must go away? What's the financial element into that chant?
So, I'm Iranian too, okay? What I will say is, and
I think
you
you
know
were
this,
born in Iran, or your parents are Iranian, not just probably living in the US or anywhere else.
that's true, but I've been to Iran.
But you can't tell an Iranian.
You've been to Iran. That doesn't make you Iranian. I've been to Saudi Arabia. Does that make me a?
Yeah, but you can't. Hold on. Let me. You can't tell a Persian man what he can and what he is, dude. That's not fair. I'm sorry.
Being a Persian is an ethnicity. Being an Iranian is a citizenship.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Okay, just share your opinion as a person. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah, but that's his ethnicity though. So you can't.
You don't really sound high in your IQ. Just calm down, bro.
Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, listen.
You're Islamophobe.
Iranian people are
I'm proudly Islamophobic. You have a problem with that.
Yeah, you're a faggot.
Wait, hold on.
That was Muhammad was the faggot. Do not insult me. I will insult you.
Hold on.
This is why no one supports you.
No, wait, Jack. So you're a hypocrite, right, Amir? Because you claim you support freedom of speech and freedom of expression and religion and this and that, but you wanna trash on an entire segment of your
Yeah, that's
population.
exactly the freedom of thought is.
So what would you do to the Muslims of Iran? What are you gonna do to the
Muslims in Iran, there are many people who protest on Muslims.
And you just called them all faggot.
Iranians are Muslims. No, I said Muhammad is faggot. I didn't insult him.
Your dad's a faggot, bro. No fucking saying that.
Well,
You're fucking Reza Pahlavi is the biggest cock in the world, bro.
Wait.
Maybe, I'm not sure about that.
To be fair, if me and my entire family were getting butt fucked by the Ayatollah, I'd probably think he was a faggot too.
So
but it's okay. It's only 50 years later.
I mean, yeah, but actually, I think
Well, he's talking about.
I don't really
He's talking
think that
about
you are in the level to
Jack,
be
he's not
insulted
talking about.
by.
Yeah, but stop talking about Islam as a whole, then you fucking idiot. Talk about the fucking situation. Talk about the shitty government. Don't talk about Islam.
What's the idea behind the Islamic regime? What's the
Okay,
idea
hold
behind the
on a second.
What's the Islamic regime? Why is it Islamic?
That's a regime.
I mean, Shias are
Hold on a second.
So Shias visit Mecca. Do you mean that non-Muslims visit Mecca and go?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
Funny.
Amir, here's the thing, right? Number one, as Arabs, I can tell you, the majority of Arabs, the extreme majority of Arabs, don't give a shit about the IRGC. And they probably would have been your best allies from decades ago, but you guys are too retarded to see it. Because you choose to just trash Arabs and trash their religion. That's why you don't. One second,
and how the Arab countries.
One second, Amir. Your Iranian. Wait, I'll tell you. Your Iranian International was founded by Saudi Arabia. Saudi funded that shit. Your source of news is from the Saudis. Hold on a second. So here's the thing. You choose to
like CNN is paid by Qataris or like
yeah, but that's the only Iranian source.
CNN is funded by Qataris.
Hold on, that's the biggest. Hold on, Amir, stop interrupting. Iran International is the biggest opposition media source that you have, and it was founded by the Arab, not by you, because you're poor. That's number one. Number two, you choose to trash the religion of 2 billion people, and you do it in the name of freedom and democracy. I'm actually worried for the Muslims in Iran, because I think you guys are brutal and Nazis, and you're gonna kill them, torture them, and you're probably gonna shut down religious freedom and practices. Thirdly, it's really funny coming from somebody trying to insult the Arabs and the religion of the Arabs when your name is literally an Arabic name. Your name is an Arabic name. Like, even in your name that you're spoken to every day, you are colonized by the Arabs. The Arabs went in there, the Muslim Arabs went in there, destroyed your civilization, conquered it, spread their religion. Even the letters that you write with, your own language, are Arabic letters. You're conquered and colonized all over, but you want to trash the people that are superior to you. That's the problem. And take this because it's Ramadan. Get the fuck down, you fucking faggot. You talk shit about our prophet.
Bro, the person with the most Islamic name,
the mullahs are not going anywhere. You keep on dreaming. You keep on kissing that Jewish wall. It's not gonna happen. Sorry, Papa.
Even your fucking old king and all that fucking fag, he was even a Muslim. Look at him praying in Mecca right now. So yeah, bro. This is why no one can get behind these fucking people. You feel bad for them. You know their regime sucks. They're oppressive. They're fucking pieces of shit.
They're retarded. The Iranian opposition is the most retarded opposition.
Hold up. They come and ostracize 2 billion people, most of which agree with everything they say, except when they start bashing the religion. But wallah, Iranians, and no offense, Taco, it's mostly the ones on the outside. They are the most politically retarded people you've ever fucking met. And it's weird because they're the ones who can read the free media of the world. They're not the Iranians stuck in their country. Can't read shit.
Yeah, Jack, just like, I don't believe in grouping all Israelis or all Jews with their government or with Zionism. I don't group all Arabs with their respective governments, and not all Iranians are Reza Pahlavi supporters. So I'm sure you guys realize
He didn't
that.
say
Yeah,
that,
for sure.
Uncle. He said the Iranians outside.
No, I know. And I'm, as an Iranian on the outside, I'm not like one of them, you know?
Yeah,
But
that's
you're a
facts.
minority,
That's
you know that.
I know.
But you know
I
you're a
know.
minority.
No, I know. I realize that. I despise the regime as well.
And
but I
Taco,
don't
you want to
think.
debate him because he's raising his hand.
Do I want to what?
You want to talk to him? Because I'm not talking to him.
No,
You're
not really interested.
I mean, you're low in IQ, just like Muhammad and Allah. So
Muhammad, the one you're talking about, conquered your country, destroyed your civilization, destroyed your religion, destroyed your the alphabets, the Persian alphabets.
He's not in the room.
Muhammad you're talking about. No, he is. Muhammad that you're talking about. Shut down that stupid Zoroastrian fire that you had. Right? That's the Muhammad you're talking about. And your name is Arabic. Bro, your name is literally Arabic. Your dad's name is in Arabic. Your mom's name is in Arabic. Your sister's name is in Arabic. And you come here talking your shit. What have you done? We've conquered you, bro. We colonize you. We colonize your head, your mindset, your ideas, your thoughts. You revolve around.
Jesus. Okay, all right, Prince. Calm down, brother.
It's Ramadan.
Just like you don't like hold on. Prince, just like you don't like you're saying those disgusting things about your religion, the Zoroastrians also, to me, they shouldn't have their religion bashed at it, even though I don't think anyone in this room is Zoroastrian. But we gotta all back off and not fucking religion.
I didn't disparage Zoroastrians.
I agree.
I said we destroyed the religion.
Taka, I agree. Because I don't.
Did I say that? It is, to be honest, Taco Bell.
People come and they basically say shit like this, like, these people need allies, as many as they can get, as many supporters as they can get. What they do, dude, their natural reaction is they think they need to see more Western than American or European, so they go and bash 2 billion people's religion.
Jack, I get it.
No, and they do it not understanding that
2001. We're over.
They do it not understanding that the West itself has changed. They do it not understanding that the Israelis that they stand with are the pariah of the world. But Israeli tourists are getting kicked out, not in Dubai. They're getting kicked out in Greece, in Germany. They're getting kicked out in Japan and in South Korea. They're getting kicked out wherever they go. You see the videos online, dude. And then you want to ally with them? You want to ally with the losing party, bro? What the fuck? These people are fucking retarded.
I think it comes out of desperation, because one thing that Iranians don't have, we've never been able to stand together. We've never been able to, especially in the diaspora. If you ever go to these Persian rooms and see how people, even Reza Pahlavi supporters, how they fight amongst each other, it's like you're not supportive enough of the cause. You know what I mean? So, and in my opinion, the reason that, we have everybody, so many people are banding behind Reza Pahlavi is because they see him as a unified figure of resistance to the regime. Not necessarily that they agree with all, not necessarily that they see him as the next true leader or whatever. They just do it out of desperation. And what I think Reza Pahlavi has actually, he's gained a lot of supporters since the January 8th massacre, but he's also lost a lot of supporters after the January 8th massacre. There's like a rift going on in the Persian community, or the Iranian community, because apparently Reza Pahlavi has gone and tried to, when he talks of amnesty for the IRGC, a lot of his hardcore supporters are like, the regime must go away, as if someone can wave a magic wand and the regime and all of its supporters, let's say 10% of the Iranian population are supporting the regime. Okay, just for the sake of argument. They're definitely the minority, right? What do you do with 9 million people once you get rid of the regime that supported that regime? Do they just all disappear? I don't know.
Exactly.
See, that's not a conversation that any of them want to have. They're just like, oh, those are IRGC talking points, which is code for, I don't have an answer, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Those of us who are raised in the West that actually are critical thinkers, we think of these type of things, we want to have a discussion, and they make it seem that if they even allow that thought to enter their mind, that all of a sudden the whole facade, like a poof of smoke, it just vanishes. If we had a very strong leader, then that leader would be open to criticism, would be open to debates, would be open, and their followers as well. But it's not that. If you, like, when you say that, when you talk like that to a Reza Pahlavi supporter, your answer is that, hey, if you don't have a better answer, stop throwing, like, shade to our leader. You have a better supporter, tell us we'll come support. I'm like, no, we don't have one, but that doesn't mean that we have to bow our heads and accept everything that he says. Why can't we? No, like in America, you're everybody constantly is holding their leaders' feet to the fire, and that's what. It's not a perfect system, but it's an open system where you can hold your leaders accountable, or at least attempt to. But to them, don't say a goddamn thing. Just shut your mouth, bow your head like a sheep, you know? Even if it means going off a ledge, we all go off the ledge together. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, that's sad, bro. It's crazy, though, because they're supposed to be free thinkers, so they should be able to think.
Shit. No has here. Fuck.
Oh, shit.
Amir, stop flirting with me in the back chat.
Oh, no, dude. She has the worst takes on this topic. We don't even need to discuss right now.
Bro, Amir is sexually harassing me.
Fuck your mother.
Amir is sexually harassing me.
Fuck Muhammad. Fuck Muhammad.
Wait, but I'm Muslim. I'm not Zoroastrian. I don't fuck my mother. That's what your ancestors did.
Fuck Muhammad. I'm fucking.
That's what your people did. They fucked their mothers.
Dude, you know you're so fucking low in intelligence. Like, just go.
Fuck you, fuck Khamenei, fuck Pahlavi. I don't give a shit, you fucking idiot.
Because you're Arab,
I'm your master. I'm your master.
You're Arab. Look at you. Look at your Palestine. Look at the.
Chris, can I ask you a question, dude?
You Palestinians, you know,
do shit.
Cry about it, man.
But
Look at the burning Quran on my profile. That your ass, not just a book.
That's not good for your country, bud. You've been proud.
Yeah, it won, but it burns your ass.
And crying online is not gonna do it either.
Fuck you. No, fuck are you, Jack? You left this market in the US.
Fuck no, bro. Fuck no fucking
Jack, who the fuck are you really, alright?
Are you in the West? What the fuck?
I really feel sorry for Taco. Wallahi, I feel sorry.
Jack, who the fuck are you, bro?
See what I gotta deal with.
Your whole
Tell me your ideas.
Honestly,
Tell us who you are. Fuck Prince, he's really nice to you. Who the fuck are you, bro? Yeah, you gay, man?
I'm the Ayatollah today. I'm the Ayatollah.
So Prince and the gay man got together. Taco, you shut your mouth, man.
Orada bekleyen başlamayı okuyup sabahleyin beşe doğru bir yol var.
Prince is so insufferable, man.
Dude, the Austrians, that's a new word. I hate it right there.
Honestly, sometimes I think it's easier to talk to Brett than to people like Brett.
Yes, ask, fuck.
Okay, just a quick question. You were talking about how the Muslims conquered civilizations prior, right?
Yeah, but I don't necessarily mean everything I said. But
And you said it. You said it so proudly.
Nice.
About conquering? Okay, yes, that's a conquering that happened.
Okay, that's fine. I'm happy and I accept that fact. So why would you have? So I'm a bit confused as to why you're so critical of Israel. Why are you so critical of Israel? I don't understand.
I don't understand your question because I don't accept being conquered and I'm still fighting, but the Iranians accepted being conquered and they became Muslim.
So you're happy to own it that Muslims conquered for 1,000 years, yeah? So I'm a bit confused with the hypocrisy.
But Persia remained for the Persians, right? And the Muslim Arabs did not ethnically cleanse or try to eradicate the Persians. They just became Muslim and they've been ruling their country for centuries. Am I wrong, Taco?
No, if the people stood up and rose up against the Muslim invasion.
Nice thing to say. It's just not a. I think.
Can I just ask you a question, Taco?
Go ahead. Prince asked me a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just asking, if the Persians fought against the Muslim so-called conquerors, right?
They did.
They did. So what did the Muslim conquerors do to those that stood up against them?
They fought them.
They fucked them, right?
They fought
them. They fought them.
Okay, what's the point?
Okay. Well, I'm just confused at the hypocrisy.
No, you shouldn't be. It's not hypocritical because you have to understand the Persians accepted Islam, became Muslim, and what happened to the Persians?
You're missing Brett's point. Let me interject here. Here's I think what Brett's trying to say. What he's trying to say is if you are happy about Arabs conquering Iran, fucking them and converting them, why are you against Israel conquering and fucking its neighbors in Gaza?
I will tell you why. If the Arabs did to Iran what the Jews are doing in Palestine, then I would be against that. And what the Arabs did is they conquered an empire that was out there to kill them. It was the Persian Empire who started sending out troops to fight the Muslims, not the other way around. The Muslims were weak. They were dwellers in the desert. Hold on. The Muslims were dwellers in the to take on one of the biggest empires in the region, that is the Persian Empire. But they had to fight, and when they fought, the Muslims won. And the Muslims did not mistreat the Persians. The Muslims did not rape and pillage the Persians. You will not find a single record. You will not find a single record from Persians claiming that. That's exactly why.
You just said that though. You said that those who were belligerent.
That's exactly why the Persians were able to join Islam, become Muslim, and rule their own country, right? The Persians were not colonized by the Arabs. Hold on, and here's the thing: the Persians consented and accepted. I do not accept nor consent to being conquered. I'm still fighting, and that's the difference. I'm telling you, you conquered me, bro. I will fight you.
Prince, those who were belligerent, you just said before, they killed them.
Yes, you are killing us. Yes.
Right, so I'm a bit confused. So you're saying...
I don't know why you're confused. Are you retarded? I'm telling you, you conquered me. I don't accept it.
Wait. Jew, shut the fuck up. Prince, 1 second. It's very simple. This guy's playing retarded, bro. Jews are not this dumb. You literally walked him to the point and you turned around. Hey, Kike, he's talking about settler colonialism. Yeah, okay.
Who sent him to the audience?
Yeah, bro, he's playing retard, bro.
I don't deny being conquered. But what I'm saying is I'm still fighting. I do not accept the conquest. I'm not yielding.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was just trying to... I don't think you understood his question. That's what his question was. So that's...
Come on, Maxi, since you want to laugh. Come on.
But Prince, as an Iranian, I'll say this, dude. Please do not.
Bro, this is my profit. I don't give a shit. Come on, dude.
Why the fuck would you kick me out?
No.
Why would you kick me out?
Iranians are proud.
Don't play retard. You're a smart Jew.
We don't want to be told that we were conquered by Europe.
Well, I don't want to hear anybody cuss my prophet.
Islam sentiment, dude. Prince,
yeah, but he
don't say that.
No, I did not.
No, I'm not saying what Amir was right. I cursed him out in Farsi too. But please, dude, do not say that it's highly offensive to Iranian people to be.
Before I can why did you kick me out? Jack, why did you kick me out?
Because you're dancing around the point. I'm telling you,
I don't get this.
I'm telling you, you conquered, and I do not accept it. I do not consent. I'm still fighting.
No, that's fine.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
I didn't argue against that. I didn't argue against that. You have a right to fight, man. I was just arguing a point. You said that the reason the Arabs conquered Persia is because they were going to be beaten, right? So they did it as an act of, what do you want to say, right? So I don't understand the difference. The Palestinians also want to conquer the Jewish nation. So don't the Jews have a right to stand up for themselves? The same as the Muslims did against the Persians? I'm a bit confused by the hypocrisy.
You don't have a right because you don't belong there.
Wait a a minute. The Arabs
Let me tell you
conquered
something.
Iran, right?
If Syria, but the Arabs did not settle in Iran. Are you retarded?
The Arabs didn't settle in it.
No, they didn't. They didn't move their population.
Conquer Iran.
Oh my God. Yo, Taco, you want to help us out with some Iranian history here? The Arabs did not move a population from the Arabian Peninsula into Iran, kicked out the Iranians and took their land. The Arabs merely ruled for some time, spread the religion, and the Iranians ruled themselves. The Persians ruled themselves.
Hold on, let's bring Arya up. Let Arya have this card. He knows more than I do on this. Arya, be able.
Hi, Arya.
I don't know about the history, but I was just, I kind of agree with Brett. So I said, like, I feel like Prince said that you don't, like, belong there. So I'm just asking, like, who are you to say, like, who like, which people belongs to where?
I'm the owner of the land. I'm the owner of the land. Do I belong in Iran? Arya, do I belong in Iran?
You don't own Palestine as well. Ottoman Empire.
I don't get it. Do I belong in Iran?
No.
Then why? What the hell is that? Why do I not belong in Iran? Why?
You come across the side.
Hold on, bro. Don't do that. Arya, who are you to tell me I don't belong in Iran?
Because I mean, Iran is a country, so are you belonging? Do you feel like you belong to that country?
I want to move to Iran and take a land and live there. Are you telling me I don't belong?
Come in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, come in.
His grandparents promised him Iran 3,000.
And I will bring my family, my relatives, my friends, and we're gonna build a settlement in Asfahan.
We're gonna need some of you guys to move out.
You'll get Iranian passport and you're gonna live there.
No, I don't want the Iranian passport. I'm gonna move to Ahwaz and we're
You
gonna
just want their Persian food, don't you? Is that the whole reason?
Yes, Persian food and women. But Arya, I'm gonna move to Ahwaz. We're gonna build a state in Ahwaz, and we're gonna have our own passports.
But that's like within Iranian country. There is no Palestine country. There has never been a Palestine country in Iran.
When was there an Iranian country?
Of course, since 2,500 years ago. Since 2,500 years ago.
Talk about not to talk about Palestine.
One second. But this is an internal conversation between Middle Eastern neighbors. Stay out of it. Arya, show me when in history there was a Republic of Iran.
What? Can you repeat it?
Show me when the Republic of Iran was founded.
2,500 years ago.
You're a liar.
No.
Why is he a liar?
You want me to prove you wrong? Because there was no Republic of Iran 2,000 years ago.
Well, there was an empire.
Okay, and you know what? Okay, that's fine. And 7,000 years ago, the land of Canaan was there.
I'm not arguing with you on Palestine.
It's much older than the name of Iran. Okay, so go ahead, please, entertain me.
But I'm saying during the Ottoman Empire, the Ottoman ruled that region. There was no Palestine. And then once Ottoman left and Britain.
So where did Palestine go? I don't get it.
Palestine stays there, but Britain asked Palestine and
okay, so for the Ottomans ruled us. The Ottomans ruled us, but we were there.
The Ottoman didn't rule you. The Ottoman ruled that region, which you.
Then how is that different? Is Syria a land, a country, a state?
Ottoman used to rule Syria, and Syria accepted like whatever. So you didn't accept, and people started to invade.
Oh my God, bro, taco for the love of God, bro. What's wrong with you?
I didn't bring Arya up to talk about Palestine. I thought he was going to talk about...
If he had the opportunity to talk about his own shit, and then
was
like,
Arya...
This is one oppressed guy trying to shit on Palestinians. This is crazy. Wait, Arya.
Golda Meir said she was Palestinian. Like, what are we even talking about?
Bro, wait, is Arya Persian?
He is. He's Iranian.
Okay, are you advocating for the freedom of the Iranian people?
Yeah.
Are you advocating for freedom and justice for Iranians?
Yes.
Why do you think they deserve?
And are you?
What's what?
Do you support the Palestinians getting freedom?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, they deserve it. They deserve the
there was
1970
no
land. They
Palestine.
deserve the 1940. Yeah, they deserve the 1948 land. They deserve the 1970 lands. They deserve.
But there was no Palestine. I'm confused. Fucking hell.
No, I mean the UN asked those countries to be formed. So I mean, one
So if
country
the UN,
accepted
if the UN says Ahmad should become an independent state, are you going to accept?
If Ahmad is not ruled by any country at that moment, yeah.
Huh? No. The UN comes together tomorrow. They say, listen,
UN didn't come to take any country.
okay, but hold on.
Ottoman Empire defeated in the
Forget
World War
about
II.
that.
Britain asked the countries to be formed. One country accepted, the other didn't.
That's not true. That's not what happened.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Do you accept if the United Nations tomorrow says Ahvaz is not part of Iran, Ahvaz should become an independent state? Do you accept?
In Kurdistan.
No,
Because you're full of shit.
Because if Iran gets defeated, yeah, in a war maybe, but Iran is there, so.
Well, we're gonna make sure we're gonna pour in billions of dollars into Ahvaz. We're gonna send them army, drones. We're gonna conquer you. We're gonna make the Arabs great again in Iran. Ahvaz, Republic of Arabia.
Sure, yeah, go for it. Yeah, you will see what happens.
We are richer than you. We're gonna make it happen.
Sounds good. Good luck.
I mean, the United States seems to want to divide it up anyway, but oh, what's up with the Persians? Oh my God, man, Rio, what's up with these guys, bro?
They're retarded.
Are you like, well, I would lose my shit if my people acted like. It's usually the people on the inside.
Guys, I just came out to say not all of us are idiots like this guy. So count me out. I'm not with them.
Okay, tell us, Max, what do you think? What's your tell us
On what?
on everything. Iran, the mullahs, Israel, USA.
So the way I'll put it is fuck Khomeini, and last but definitely not least, fuck Netanyahu. So that's my stance.
Rio just had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you saying fuck Pahlavi?
Fuck you. Yeah, definitely. So Pahlavi is a Zionist.
Rio, don't
Pahlavi. So Pahlavi is just a Zionist project, I think. And if you just look at the Twitter scandal, it was proven that
It's proven that Pahlavi is supported by Israel. It's proven.
Yeah. So
It's proven.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a document.
I will put the link. Thousands of fake Twitter accounts from Israel, just as one count, right? I'll put the link. It was Citizens Lab at University of Toronto. They put billions of tweets and likes and retweets for him. Just one stance.
Dude,
I'll put the link.
these like propaganda is like killing you. So like IR regime is also supported like Nayak. Does that mean like IR regime is like behind Nayak? Like what are you talking about? All these bots exist. Does that prove anything?
Okay, I had this argument with someone else. So basically, I said, haven't you noticed that up until last year there was no talk about this guy and just
No, dude, you're so okay. So you're full of shit. So okay, so since last year, since like 2 years ago, I don't know if you have ever been to Iran since year 88. Okay, be quiet. Since 2009 when the Green Movement happened, Pahlavi supported the movement. Since Mahsa's movement, Pahlavi supported it. Pahlavi always had supporters. The fact that you didn't hear about them doesn't mean that it didn't exist.
No. I didn't say it didn't exist. Look, if this guy was anywhere close to being a leader 2 years ago, when this guy Pezeshkian people were voting for him, he would just put a simple statement, hey, don't vote or anything like that. So no one was listening to him up until 2 years ago. And then a huge, massive campaign led by Israel came, the media and money and
everything came behind him. So I don't accept him as a.
Dude, you're dumb. Dude, you're dumb. So how come
So
people
tell me,
didn't come to the street during didn't come to the street during the 12-day wars? If Israel is so strong, how come people didn't come to the street in the 12-day wars?
What does
I mean,
it
they
have
don't
to do
want
with any of this?
You said Israel supported Pahlavi since last year. The war happened 6 months ago, and Pahlavi asked people to come to the street. So how come people, Mossad, everyone didn't act during the 12-day wars?
They did.
If he was supported
I'll
by
turn it
Israel.
around on you. I'll turn it around.
No one came to the street.
I'll turn it around on you. People would come to the street anyways. He's just riding the wave. This idiot is just riding the wave. And next time, when there's the next call, and then no one shows
Riding the wave, whatever. So the protest started for 10 days. He asked people to show up, and then millions came out. So I don't know if you want to call it riding a wave or whatever.
I don't know how old you are. I was in the streets in 2008. So look, they put...
Same as me.
Okay, so look, they put sanctions on Iran, okay? And then they've made millions of people drop from middle class to absolute poverty. The average
Every time they lift the sanction, if the
just
people...
like I said, shut up. Let me finish. Okay, just...
I didn't say shut up. I said be quiet.
Okay, be quiet. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, I thought you said shut up. But let's go one by one. So the fact of the matter is, the sanctions have make millions poor, right? So what happens is that people would come out anyways, any day. It's a bomb waiting to explode. So a guy shows up and just waving the right. So I asked people, what are his credentials? This guy is 65 years old, has had no achievement whatsoever in his life, no achievement. In fact, if you read the diaries, he had development issues. There's many letters from Asadullah Alam and other people warning about how he was being raised with women, etc., etc. He was not raised as a man, etc. So he is 65 years old. He has had no business, no achievement whatsoever. And then
he's my neighbor, bro. Literally, in America, he's my neighbor.
Sure. Yeah, I lived in LA.
Your country, it's crazy.
I lived in LA area for 7 years. The reason why I'm never gonna be on board with him is that it's several years spent time with these Pahlavi supporters. LA was his headquarters, right? So
the worst ones are there, bro. Oh my god.
Absolute worst one. Absolute. I hate it. Go to Orange County, much better.
Orange County
area, much better people. And you see strong elements of fascism among Pahlavi supporters these days. Like, you go to these rooms and say, Javi, no, I'm not saying that. I say, hey, get out of here, do this and that. Like, yeah, these guys are actually impossible.
So who did you support in 2009?
In 2009, that was the year I finished my undergrad. At 2 months before I moved to US for my PhD, right? So in that 2 months, I was out there every day, and I wasn't just...
Who was your leader?
Was it Mir Hossein Mousavi Max?
Yeah, the idiot. So what?
So he was a prime minister during 80s. And how many people was executed during this time?
You learn your lesson. Just like now, if you support Pahlavi, you're gonna learn your lesson.
Who are you gonna support? You said like for Khomeini or whatever. Who are you gonna support leading you toward that goal?
Anyone but Pahlavi. Okay. So
you're basically Pahlavi folk.
So I was excited. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, number one, I think the people who are excited about a foreign intervention in the country, just excited, to go to these rooms. Oh, they're getting.
They should be shot.
I just have a suggestion for you. Instead of gaining your identity by denying Pahlavi, try to find a leader and promote him.
Sure.
That's my suggestion to you.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say.
And I keep telling people the same thing. Yeah, sure. And So there are many arguments against him. The only arguments people have for his credentials is, 18 put us and people came out. If you base everything on 2 days that he, in my opinion, was riding the wave, in your opinion, no, everyone listened to him. If you base your argument on that, it's very fragile, I'm telling you, because next time...
Oh no, my argument is not based on that. My argument is based on his 47 years of, published, speech and talk or whatever. I started supporting him maybe 2 or 3 years ago. He supported the green movement that you and I were on street 12 years ago. He supported the master revolution 4 years ago. In every social movement, he supported.
That's just like what everyone else has done. That's not.
No, that's not. That's yeah. So that everyone else is free. Everyone else is free to ride the wave, quote unquote. What you said. So everyone else is free to do. Ask people to come out. He did. People show up. So what?
And by the way, if you must know, this guy is not his first time being an agent of Mossad and CIA. It's not his first time. I'll send you a link for a document.
You were saying you're a PhD student in fucking United States, and you're saying he's an agent. He's an agent.
If you want, top 5 school if you want.
Yeah, same as me. And you are saying you're claiming he's a CIA agent.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
that's like such a messed up argument. That's such a you can't even know who is a CIA agent. First of all,
talk about. Okay, I'll ask you a question. Has there ever been a time he's been paid by CIA to do any project? If not, if you don't know about that, I'll put a link and then you'll be embarrassed.
You have a link of the CIA agent to Pahlavi.
Kinds of documents, yes.
I think even Taco is laughing, so I'm not gonna.
Hold on, Max. Hold on 1 second. Max, put a link in the chat.
Okay. First, I'll put a documentary because I haven't heard of it Farsi. Because let me go. One documentary, and then we'll go to the detailed document because the document is easy to follow for him.
Hold on, documentary or a document? We need something
documentary, then documents. No.
Okay, just put a link to the document. We don't need to watch a documentary.
Okay. Now it's 1 second. Okay. While I search for that, you guys give me more. Talk to me about his credentials and what has he achieved in his 65-year-old life, miserable life. What else has he? The fact that he supported master movement. I did the same. The fact that he did 2008. I did the same. He speaks French and English. I do the same. So if that's your argument, fine. We can. What else is there to defend?
Right now we are living in a world that we don't need, a leader like quote unquote to have like very strange credential. Yeah, Velvet, please go ahead. Sorry, I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah.
No worries. Hey everyone. I assume that Max and Arya obviously is an Iranian, but I also believe that Max is also Iranian. I'm also an Iranian person as well.
Okay, that's fine. Go ahead, Velvet.
Yeah, I just said that I speak fluent Farsi. So because these LA-based people, they haven't been into country in 40 years. They don't even make a phone call to Iran in the whole. Yeah.
Okay, so, Max, hold on. Just let Velvet speak. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm also an Iranian. So one point that I just want to say is that I can already say that unfortunately Max seems to be a little bit biased. So for context, if I were to advocate one of the opposition figures of Iran, Reza Pahlavi wouldn't necessarily be the first one. For instance, the Iranian Masih Alinejad, I strongly advocate Masih Alinejad. I always support her commitment to fight against the Islamic regime. But one point that I just want to make is that why are we arguing about Reza Pahlavi? It is not the question that we need to answer right now. question or point that we need to address is the Islamic Republic. Obviously, the opposition of the Islamic Republic is a diverse opposition, and again, obviously, Reza Pahlavi, due to my perspective, has the main support, although he has some dissidents as well. No one can deny, especially within the ethnic groups or the Republicans. But the point is, Reza Pahlavi is not the guy who has made these atrocities. Reza Pahlavi is not the one who has massacred tens of thousands of Iranians on the streets. And why should we argue about him? So at the end of the day, once the regime is collapsed, Iranian people will make a decision, and we will follow on. But right now, we should get united and fight against the regime. So that's the main point I wanted to raise.
So, Velvet, I actually agree with you. Okay. But here's my question. Forget about Reza Pahlavi for a second. You guys agree that before there can be a transitional government, the Islamic Republic needs to be dismantled to a degree, right? Can we all agree on that? Hello?
Not necessarily. So, for instance, in the Islamic Revolution 47 years ago, this wasn't the point. The transitional government actually was created by the revolutionaries, by Mehdi Bazargan. But Shabu Bakhtiyar, the same person whose picture is on my profile, was the sitting prime minister at the moment. So.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you will accept elements of the Islamic Republic in a new government, right?
No, that was not my point. But my point was, it is not a precondition for the current government to be entirely dismantled, as you put it, for a transitional government to be shaped. So, because the current regime will not, leave the power unless it is forced to. So I would assume that whilst they are still in power, a transitional government can be shaped, just as the same happened actually 47 years in Iran.
Okay, you're kind of dancing around what I'm trying to say. The point I'm trying to make is, I agree with you that Reza Pahlavi right now is kind of irrelevant, because it's kind of like saying, to me, it's kind of like saying, we need to buy a house first and then we need to remodel it, right? Reza Pahlavi is the remodeling part. But first you got to be able to buy that fucking house, okay? And Reza Pahlavi has nothing to do with being able to buy the house. He has nothing to do with actually overthrowing the regime, okay? But the problem is that a lot of Pahlavi supporters I do talk to make it sound like just by bombing Iran and all that suddenly Iran's going to be free and then Reza Pahlavi can roll in on the red carpet. I don't see it that way. And I don't see enough people talking about, okay, how do we actually take over the country before they can be a transitional government? Not very many people are talking about that. They just seem to think like, okay, America knows what it's doing, Israel knows what it's doing. They're going to bomb us, Islam's going to run away, bam, bam, boom, we're free.
Well, do you know, Taco, how Khomeini did get back to Iran during the revolution?
That's 1979, we're in 2026.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, do you know how he get back to Iran?
Yes.
How did he get back?
So he was in exile in the South France at the time.
At least he had the courage to get on the planet.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to you what I know. I don't claim to be an expert on these.
So I can answer. So I didn't want to be that rhetorical. So let me tell you. So so the Velvet's picture, Bakhtiyar was a prime minister. So Bakhtiyar said, okay, I'm not gonna bomb the plane that Khomeini is gonna ride. So basically, Khomeini took an airplane and landed in Tehran. So that's how he landed. So do you think the same thing can happen right now?
No, Arya, hold on, you gotta step back. the reason I think the 1979 revolution was successful for the Islamic republics, POV, there was several elements to it. Number one, Khomeini had a strong following in Iran. I'm not, everything I say, please don't attack me and say Reza Pahlavi. This has nothing to do with Reza Pahlavi, okay? He had a strong following in Iran. Number two, the people in Iran were very mad at their government, Shah, for being a dictator and having his oppressive ways to any type of dissidents and forcing modernity onto the people. And number three, it was actually a perfect storm with the Shah getting sick, having cancer, and having to leave the country, okay? And the Shah, for as brutal as he was, I don't think he was ever close to being as brutal as the Islamic Republic is, okay? At some point, he was willing to concede. I don't think the Islamic Republic is willing to concede.
I think the answer to Arya's question is very simple. He has an interview not too long ago, just a year ago maybe. He said clearly, I'm not willing to risk anything, my freedom, or anything. I'm not to get to people to freedom. So he's not going to have the courage to to get on that plane. So Arya, come on, please. At least
I just said 2 weeks ago that I'm going to go back.
Yeah. It's easy for the team to go back and correct him when he puts
Sure, so please don't quote something from 1 year ago when something more recent exists.
I absolutely love his father, his grandfather, and the gentleman that Velvet has his profile back there, right? But a king can have a retarded son, and he's one. He's shown no credentials. Anyone, like I was talking to someone, he was telling me, maybe we don't have Lionel Messi, he's Ali Dai or something. I said, no, this guy, every day I wake up and I'm hoping that people get around someone else. Still no one has showed up. But I absolutely think that the argument that he made a call and then people showed up, the argument is going to break very soon. That's a very big argument. There's nothing else supporting him. So we'll see.
Can I follow up on the points that Taco was raising? So I want to share a few points. First, regarding quote-unquote brutality of Mohammad Shah that you were mentioning, Taco, I would say Mohammad Shah, his government was obviously sort of, I wouldn't say dictated, but yeah, politically it wasn't a democratic government, especially after 1953. I won't go into detail. I consider what happened in 1953 as a coup, which is the main narrative in the Western narrative. But after 1953, yes, Muammar Shah's regime was not a democratic one. But in many ways, it was a progressive government. And, I don't want to raise irrelevant points, but obviously everyone, I assume, knows that he gave women the voting rights. And in many ways, it developed the country. But when you mention brutality, and you say, although you acknowledge that you cannot compare that brutality with brutality of the Islamic regime, one thing that you need to know, Taco, because I assume you're not Iranian. Anyone who...
Iranian.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you better know. Anyone who either executed under Mohammad Shah or was killed on the streets, I am telling this as a non-monarchist. They are terrorists. So you cannot name any single person, because I have read the history of, after Mashruta revolution. Anyone who was executed under Mohammad Shah, so Nawab Safavi or left activists, Bijan Jazani, all those people were terrorists. And people who were, protesting against the levy on the streets and were shot by the regime, those were not peaceful protesters as Iranians. But the Islamic Republic beheaded Feridun Farrokhzad. They murdered Shapu Bakhtiar, the same person on my profile. They literally butchered Parvaneh Skandari and Dariush Furuhan and lots of other people. So speaking about brutality, I wouldn't consider Mohammad Reza Shah as a brutal person, because at the end of the day, when someone is a terrorist person, you have to deal with them.
Velvet, you can't signify, you can't label everyone in the opposition to Mohammad Reza Pahlavi as being a terrorist. That's a
I'm not doing that. No. I didn't claim that.
But I said the brutality. You just said the brutality was used on everyone who was a terrorist. Dude,
no. Shapu Bakhtiar himself. Shapu Bakhtiar himself was an opposition. He was one of the Jabhat Milli figures. He was imprisoned during the Mohammad Reza Shah regime, and alongside Dariush Furuhan and Karim Sanjabi and other people in Jabhat Milli. He was supporter of one of the supporters of Mohammad Mossadegh.
Sorry, no one has anything against Mohammad Reza here.
The question was. Do you know how Khomeini came back in power? I don't know where we're going to Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. The question is, how did...
I think you raised 3 points previously. I forgot them, but those 3 points sounds like very familiar to the current situation. So can you please reiterate those 3 points and say how they're different now?
I didn't say they're different. I said, you asked me what the conditions were, okay? And I mentioned how they were, what they were, and I said some of them are similar, some of them are different. But what I will tell you, Arya, one of the reasons I'm always for in Iran peaceful protest, but I was never for any type of violent uprising in Iran, like just by civilians. It's different if people were armed as militias, okay? But the reason I was against it was because I know how brutal this regime can be. I've had friends who've been jailed during the 2008, 2009 Green Movement, and who now live here in the States and have told me how they were tortured. And I very well know that if Iran feels that its legitimacy is being questioned, if there's talks of regime change, just like they've done to all the other political prisoners, they will either imprison them or kill them. And if there's thousands of them out in the street, they will kill them. Even if one person has a gun, they'll take it out on 1,000 different people. So what I'm trying to say is that every point that's made about, you only need 3 or 5% of the population to stand up for a revolution to be successful.
Okay, so can I?
It's correlation, not causation. But I'm not done yet. All right, hold on. Sure. You asked me a question, so let me answer. What the type of intervention that I am for is mainly something to have a coup d'etat of the government. Okay? Now, some of that may involve surgical strikes. Some of it may involve more sort of tactics of espionage, tactics of bringing intelligence officers in to turn people who are currently in leadership, okay? I don't believe B-2 bombers flying and bombing the shit out of Iran is going to necessarily lead to regime change, okay? It could, but I feel like it's the sloppiest way of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. Yeah, and I know that you are supporting coup, and I'm saying all these uprising, all these protests is gonna help, even in your case, like, which is like you're hoping for coup. Even like the uprising can help with the coup, as the same thing that I think happened during 1954, or during the same situation that Velvet just explained with the Mossadegh. So people being on the street can help with the coup as well, I believe. So I'm not disagreeing with anything that
And,
you say.
and that requires organization, that requires planning. I'm not hearing any of that. I understand, like me, I have family in Iran. I don't like seeing my people get killed. 40,000, 50,000, whatever.
Who is something that they advertise on the radio for people to follow, so I don't think we'll ever get
okay. Yeah, that's, you're being sarcastic about it. What I'm trying to say
you're
is
saying
that
the revolution. I'm not sure. What are you asking? Like, do you ask like Pahlavi to give like do this first, do this second? So that's never gonna happen.
No, but like, okay, so for example, I'm just gonna give an example. I'm not saying that this has been executed properly, okay? Which I don't know if it has, but I don't feel that it has, is that when he talked about turning elements within the regime to come stand with the people, whether it be by the QR code or whatever the fuck type of communication that he's providing, that is what you need. I don't think you can overthrow the IRGC until you have elements within the IRGC that are willing to come stand with the people, who said, I've had enough. There is no silver bullet that's going to get rid of all of IRGC. There's no Moab bomb that's going to be dropped on Tehran or Boom or anywhere else where all of them are going to just pack their bags and uniformly leave. You all have to accept some elements of the IRGC are still going to remain. And you're going to have to, unfortunately, because this is how politics is. This is not a Rambo movie where, America comes in with a bandolier on a helicopter, machine guns, only the bad guys.
Taku, what pisses me off is we're all on board, right? So we all hate Islamic Republic. We all respect Reza Pahlavi's father and grandfather. So this part we all on the same level. Now, what pisses me off is you've heard the term skin in the game, right? Nassim Taleb has a very nice book, 2018, The Skin in the Game. The concept is simple. It's basically, let's say an example. In the past, generals, when they went to war, or the kings, they led the army, they were in front, and if they made bad decisions, they would pay the price with their life and their family and their dynasty, right? So they were very careful what decisions they made. Now, unfortunately, we live in an era that the guy who decides to start a war is sitting in an office, he doesn't care, he has no skin in the game. The people on Clubhouse chanting for the war to start like immediately, I want it now, but they're so excited. Most of them, when you talk to them, they have no family left. They don't even make a phone call in a month to run, right? Yet, so they don't have a skin in the game, or they have very little skin in the game. Yet they're very loud here, right? At least if you're not there, if you don't have family there, at least have the decency to stay not quiet, but not so loud. Like, let's. I see, go to these rooms, everyone's excited. We want it now. We want it right now. Guys, yeah. So, yeah, skin in the game is something I'm missing here.
No, Max, you're not wrong, but 1 second, let me just address Max, and then I'll let you speak. So, Max, my personal opinion on this is that because of what the Iranian people have had to endure over the past 47 years, whether they're within Iran, outside of Iran, have family there, or don't have family there, it's reached a boiling point. And to me, I feel like seeking revenge and Tehran versus seeking revolution and Relab are cousins of each other. But if you go more towards revenge, you may miss the path to revolution, okay? If you're just for Iran getting bombed and you have no plan of actually how to get the IRGC out of power, and if you're just booty clapping for an attack to happen, that means that you're just seeking revenge. And I do understand that point. I don't agree with it. I do understand that point of view because we've seen so many of our people get killed where it's like, just fucking kill them. Just get them out of there. Okay, and then what? Shut the fuck up.
Another
Don't even go there.
Another
Is what you hear. You get attacked if you say, okay, we dropped the B-2 bombers. Then what happens? I'm going to say this in Farsi. آقا یه دادن تو دهن جمهوری اسلامی بقیه مردم انجام میدن. Okay, این بقیه مردم انجام دادن یعنی چی? What does it mean? Has somebody actually, can Reza Pahlavi please come on the microphone and explain what that means?
We had another example here. Sorry, Arya, to point out this, but you are pissed off with IRGC and Islamic Republic supporting Palestinians, right? You're pissed off at this. And then to revenge that, the gentleman was here from Palestine or something, and then you were trying to hurt him and saying, we don't care about you, you deserve nothing, I deny everything, right?
When did I say that? When did I say that?
Look, you said, oh, you have another country named Palestine. Oh, dude, come on.
Okay, guys, let's not make this about
No,
please.
I was just giving an example where revenge was taking over rationality and...
Okay, but let's keep the point on Iran. This is the talking the room with you. But
Let's not go to Israel, please. Having a country, so I just don't know what you're talking about.
Hold on, and Velvet wanted to speak. Let's let Velvet speak, and then we'll go back to you. Go ahead, Velvet.
Thank you. So a couple of points. First, I don't think that those who advocate a war by United States and Israel, I don't think that's only about revenge. Yes, there is somehow to some extent about revenge, but also because, from my perspective, there is no other way, and not any other way, to overthrow this regime. Yes, everyone knows we are not stupid. We know that with any war, there are lots of risks. There mass destruction, casualties for civilians, especially because we know the nature of this regime. They use the civilians as human shields. The spokesperson of this government, Fatah Madrani, during the 12-day war, very blatantly, if you remember, she encouraged people not to leave Tehran because just as their brothers in Palestine, in Hamas, I know, I should limit the discussion about Iran, but just as the same Hamas, figures, they use people as human shields. But the point is, it's not just about revenge. Those who are advocating the war, like myself, who have family in Iran, and by the way, it's not just the people outside the country, everyone who I have contact with in Iran, during through social media, etc. We are all saying that we are looking at the skies. We are waiting for the United States bombers. But the point is, it's not just about revenge. There is no other way. So, for instance, myself, 10 years ago, during the 10th election of the parliament, I was in Tehran, and along with other classmates in the university in which I was studying, I advocated for the reformists, for the 30 members of the reformists to go to parliament from the reformists list. And it was not my first time. I also attended during the first, Rouhani election. I voted for him. All the Iranians have, not all of them, but majority of them have given a lot of chances to this regime to be reformed. And we have attended peaceful protests in green movement during, in 25 Khordad. It was a peaceful and a quiet demonstration. I'm not sure whether any non-Iranian person is here, but I really have no idea whether they can imagine that 3 million people coming to the streets, not chanting anything. But no matter how you demonstrate, no matter how you protest against this regime, the answer is the same. They answer you with bullets and guns. So there's no other way. So this is the first point, that yes, with a war, there could be uncertainties, there could be risks, there could be destruction, casualties for civilians. But first, it's not just about revenge. And second, it is the only viable option. It's the only viable option. And the second point that I will just share very briefly about the idea of coup d'etat. I don't assume that as a viable option either, because for a coup d'etat to happen, army, in this case, Sepah, IRGC, needs to, have people who are dissidents of the regime. And I wouldn't deny that there is no single person in IRGC who, opposes the regime. But the point is, they are very organized, very strictly supervised by, Hafazat Talat Sepah. And if any, possibility of any coup existed, it would have already happened, during the either 12-day or during the current protests, because there was much more likelihood for those supposedly option in the IRGC to commit a coup rather than a foreign country attacking Iran and advocating in urging those oppositions in IRGC to commit a coup, because they will unite behind the flag and behind the regime if any foreign country Iran. So I would say a coup is not a likely option either.
Look, so even if you say that's the only option, Reza Pahlavi is calling for Israel intervention, right? He has clearly said that, and he's asking for that, right? He should at least be held responsible if the plan goes wrong, right? If the plan goes wrong, the reason why today I have a profile picture, hands off Iran, and I believe it's important for all of us. This is our 2003 moment, in my opinion, and it's important. It's going to happen if it's going to happen. So we don't have a say in this, but it's important to recognize and remember who was for it and who was against it. So in my opinion, yeah, you say, there's no option, etc. In my opinion, 5 years down the road, if we have a war at this point, things are going to be worse. I don't understand why people think it can't get any worse. Yeah, that part we can argue why it can. But if you're for the war and you're excited, particularly if you're excited, the guys who say, I don't know, I'm worried, but it should happen. I understand that. But the guys who are super excited about it, and you see many of them these days on Clubhouse, first off, I think they're borderline traitors. But even if not for that, they have to be responsible. If Pahlavi calls for this and it fails, I hope you guys come here.
Sorry, but I disagree. No, it is not responsibility of either Reza Pahlavi or any ordinary individual who is encouraging the United States or Israel or any other Western country to attack Iran. No, it's not our responsibility if it goes bad. 100% of responsibility is for the Islamic Republic because they have left no options. I mean, if we leave everything alone, just assume that we even do not demonstrate, we don't protest, we just carry on the miserable living as we have in Iran. Look at the water outages, power outages. This regime is destroying the country already.
Power outages.
There is no future. I know that you are saying, how can you say that it cannot get worse? Yeah, of course, if a war happens, in short time, the situation could get worse. But that's the only, because the alternative is 100% that our country will be destroyed.
Let's go with power outage, okay? Let's take that as an example. Iraq has been quote-unquote liberated for the past 23 years, right? And their oil production is twice more than Iran. They sell twice more oil at a higher price, so that's more than double the revenue for less than half of the population. So they have more than 4 times income per capita from oil just alone, right? And yet, let's look at the power outage in Baghdad, right? They have literally held 3 hours of reliable power. It's miserable. So if you think it can get worse, yeah, in Iran, maybe, I don't know, 20 days per year you have outages or something. I know this because I live it every day. I talk with my family every maybe 20 days. So that's very different from 3 hours per day, okay? And 4 times more per capita flowing in, and yet there's no organization. Everyone's fighting for power, and West tried to liberate them and then left them alone. So that's an outcome that's clearly worse than what they had. And don't forget, people were chanting and asking and cheering for U.S. troops when they entered. Now look, just talk to any Iraqi and see what they say about their experience.
No, but it is a false.
By the way, arguably, Saddam was worse than this guy.
People supported Saddam Hussein. People supported him. That's the main difference between Iran and Iraq. First of all, so that's the first, difference that you are not taking into account. And the second point is you cannot just ignore, this tabling force such as Iran, which disables, contributes to non-stability in Iraq for the past 20 years since United States attacked Iraq. So you cannot deny current regime's role in in making Iraq able to help itself. So these people have funded militia groups such as Hashd al-Sha'bi, Qatar, Hezbollah. They have tried to radicalize the people and make it unsafe and insecure. You cannot ignore those elements.
Yeah, so there in the past 40, 50 years, what country has been bombed and then helped to develop? The point I'm making, what pisses me off? This guy, Lindsey Graham, when asked in Munich, what do you think will happen after? He said, I don't know, anything could happen after this campaign, right? That pisses me off. Dude, you aren't literally bombing them. You should be committed. You should be at least reassuring us, we'll be fully committed to develop Iran, just like we did in Japan, just like we did. And this guy doesn't give a shit. He clearly, go back to his interview, he said, I don't know, anything could happen. It's up to Iranians. I don't know. But this is...
He didn't want to endorse Reza Pahlavi. He didn't even endorse him.
Yeah. So
didn't endorse anyone. It's so bad.
I think that even a month ago, there was a vote in European Parliament, and 2-1, they voted not to let Pahlavi speak. They may change their opinion about that. He applied to give a speech at the European Parliament, and he was denied. So I think even the foreign intelligence is not convinced that he's the guy. So we'll see. I know this guy is a joke. I mean, come on, we'll see.
Okay, guys, I want to say something. I'm reading Kaymon's comments. He's right. None of us control what's going to happen. Like, if there's going to be an attack, there's going to be an attack, right? But please, if the attack that happens, if this ensues into a regional conflict and Iran is far worse off, like let's say they do limited attacks, somehow the regime is able to survive and they make it worse on the people than it is now. Please remember that those people who told you that attack happens and we're going to be free, remember those people. Remember that they advocated for war like there are no risks. Okay?
Sorry, let me ask you a question. How do you define getting far worse? How do you define getting worse? How do you make that comparison? You know what is the point? You're looking from your own perspective. I don't know whether you have a family in Iran or not.
I do have a family in Iran, though.
Okay. No. You know what is the point? Try to look at the situation in Iran from little girls in Sistan Baluchistan who just for bringing some water from the streams to their home, their hands were being beaten by the gondos. I'm not sure whether you have heard about them. Look at the people, the drivers of trucks in Shahbandar, who's their whole wealth, their their machineries, their vehicles got shattered a few months ago. Look at the people in Kermanshah who, because of the earthquake 12 years ago.
What's your point? I think I know that
far worse. Then you say far worse. I question from who perspective yours.
A failed state would be far worse, Velvet. A failed state would be far worse.
Yes. Look, let's compare
and if you don't consider that a possibility, then you're blind. I'm sorry. It's a possibility. Nobody knows. Is it 1%? Is it 0.1%? Is it 50%? Nobody knows because we're not in the Pentagon controlling how this military attack is going to happen, okay? All I'm saying is if you don't consider it, then to me, that's an issue.
No, I know. And no. I already acknowledged.
Hold on, Max. Hold on, Max. Let me talk to Velvet for a second, and then I'll let you start. Go ahead, Velvet.
I already know that there are costs and risks, and I've already acknowledged that. But I would ask you to look in long term. What the point I'm making is that Iran, in the long term, will be destroyed under this regime. Look at the weather. Look at the water.
Sure. Of course.
I mean, this regime, it just cares about its own survival first, and second, exporting its revolution to the whole region and to the world.
Velvet, but you're making an argument that I never made. My argument isn't because war may have risks, therefore there needs to be no war and we need to live with this regime. Why is it so binary with some of you people? Why is it just 1 or 0?
But what is the alternative? No, if it is not a binary,
you said when I was off the mic, you were saying that any type of coup d'etat is not possible because Iran is very stringent with its intelligence services, right? With finding out wherever the so then what you do is you go attack the intelligence services. You go attack the person or the persons involved in shutting the internet down and say, listen, when the time comes, you're going to get the order to shut the internet off. Don't do it. And these kind of intelligence operations take time. They don't happen overnight. The more desperate our people get, the more immediate of a solution they want. And so now it's attack us. Okay. So if we get attacked and something bad happens and Iran does get worse, who knows? Maybe it might get better. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But you guys got to remember those people who were cheerleading for an attack, thinking that it's a very easy thing and that Reza Pahlavi is going to be ushered in and there's going to be no complications thereabout. That's just not the case, man.
Go ahead,
Max.
Let Arya has been silent for a
So I think Taco, like the targeted attack to the facilities that you said is exactly what I think we are asking. So, or not we are asking, what we are kind of hoping. So I don't know what's your point. Are you asking for, some sort of militia within Iran who can gain intelligence and, suddenly feel like IRGC leader? Because happened by Israel in 20 seconds during the 12-day war.
Then let me explain what I'm trying to say. If the military attack by the U.S. happens and Iran responds and U.S. servicemen are killed in that process, okay, there's not going to be no more targeted attacks. They're going to, in my opinion, it will flatten Iran if that happens. Okay, especially if the IRGC decide to hide amongst civilians, there's going to be massive casualties there. And it's still, there's no guarantee that the regime will go away. The American public does not support troops on the ground. They don't support an all-out war, okay? So it's going to be massive bombing campaigns because nothing agitates America more than its own servicemen getting killed, even if it's a handful, okay? If it was pure surgical and nothing else came about, and it was
tied in with intelligence operations to get people to turn against Khamenei, because if you defang the muscle behind Khamenei, to me, that's the recipe for a successful revolution, okay? You have to know what that breaking point is. That is the million-dollar question. At what point will SEPA stop supporting Khamenei? Once that happens, by various elements within SEPA turning against him and standing with the people, that's when you have a successful revolution. Okay?
So Vivek said long term. Okay, let's talk about long term. So short term, we all agree it's uncertain, and when you give examples of, oh, look what happens in Sistan, etc., I can give you many examples that things are not as bad as you think. Like right now in Iran, healthcare situation is much, much better than where I live. Okay, so in the West, you can access to any good doctor, any professional in a day. You don't have to wait. So just healthcare alone can be example. And many countries around Pakistan are arguably much worse in any metric that you want to bring even today. So you can't just pick examples of suburbs and the situation is bad, average income is horrible, but healthcare, etc., things still remain reasonably together. Shit hasn't. Okay. So now let's follow up with long term. So short term, we don't know. I would say gonna get much worse. But long term, look, if you're talking about long term, I'll give you a counter example. Go to any there's these life expectancy calculators. You put your life, your age, your situation, etc., and it give you on average and mean and average of how many years you have left. I would argue that just do it for Khamenei. So he's 86 plus, and I did the exercise. His years left is on average 5, even slightly less than 5. And we don't have anyone, there's not going to be a smooth transition for him, right? If you're so impatient that you want your country to be bombed, I was out there in the street in 2008. I was doing DDoS attack from Sharif University on Raja News, Fars News. We were bringing their websites down, man. Really, we did a great job back then, every day. And now it's I don't want to be impatient. I don't want to just get excited and about the prospect of the country getting bombed. I'd rather wait for this guy to die, and it's going to happen, then see no transition. I mean, that's just, I'm not saying that it's a sure bet, but I'll just give you an example of why patience may pay off better than having country bombed and just,
Okay, Max, how do you see that? Hold on, can you expand on that? When you say patience, okay?
5 years, not 6 years.
Okay, whatever, 5 years. Just, it doesn't mean you don't have to give a length of time. How do you see it playing out? You just said wait for Khamenei to die. Don't you think he has successors already lined up?
It's not going to be easy. One thing that differentiates Iran with a country like North Korea is that these people haven't trained their children just like themselves. It's the new generation that's going to come up is very different. When Janat is gone, when Khamenei is gone, it's hard to replace them. The next, even a generation behind them, these people are very different. So I would say in 5 years, just like what happened to hijab, right? With the scarves, the law hasn't changed, but effectively on the ground, at least in Tehran, my personal observation, no one's wearing it and no one's saying anything. It was solved, time solved it in a smooth way, right? So, I'm hoping that we don't ruin the infrastructure that is still in place. Look, Iraq is an example where there's no infrastructure. There's oil money coming in, but infrastructure is gone, and people are just fighting each other out. So if that happens, no infrastructure, people being divided, then freedom is not going to help. My,
Well, I kind of disagree with that. I think freedom will help. Like if Iran is able to have sanctions lifted and is able to operate as a secular democracy, I think there, if what do you call it? If civil unrest doesn't dominate, and we're able to trade with the world, we're able to get desalinization
is
plants.
Iraq under sanctions?
No,
Are they
Max,
selling
that's it.
little?
You know, Max, I was actually going to tell you about that. No, it's not perfect. That's the thing. I think maybe you and I are more see more eye to eye on this. Democracy, freedom, and economic security don't happen overnight. They take time. But what I would encourage you to do, because I did this exercise myself,
23
was
years.
go look at. Hold on. Go look at Iraq's GDP. I looked this up since the 2003 invasion, okay? So it's still not a safe country to visit. If you go look on, the last time I checked the U.S., was it traveling website by the government, like it's still categorized as like level 4 terror. Like U.S. citizens are told not to go to Iraq, okay? It's not a stable, functioning democracy. There's no Cheesecake Factory and Four Seasons in Baghdad, okay? But even if the IRGC is removed somehow, silver bullet, and a new transitional government is put in, it's still going to take a long, long time, in my opinion, for Iran to become prosperous, okay? So they still have 10% of the population, apparently, is from what I hear, is supporting this regime. That's 9 million people you still have to deal with, okay?
If you're telling me it's gonna take 1 million dead, 22 years to get the growth, maybe if you tell that to many people in these rooms, they may not want a war anymore. So go to these clubhouse rooms. I've literally heard people say, oh, if there's a revolution, just within a couple of months, our money is going to be, real is going to be worth more than Omani real or something, right? So they're selling dreams. If you're looking at long term, sure, I agree. Long term, fine, and not even intermediate term, like long term, fine. But counter argument is good.
But Max, so one thing I'll say about that is that, look, you've heard of the term keyboard warrior, right? Like, I try my best when I come on Clubhouse to emphasize that these are my opinions and my opinions alone, okay? I never try to go tell people, you are 100% wrong. I know better than you. This is it. But there are, for instance, Iranians who will talk like that, okay? That's just, it's what it is. Not everyone has their egos in check. So because you hear it on Clubhouse rooms, doesn't mean that that's how majority of Iranians think.
No, honestly, I think if it was like what you say, if there was if people would accept all opinions at the time, like I say, oh, I think the war is gonna get us nowhere, and then someone said, no, sure, I think it's good. If you had a healthy conversation, I wouldn't be so mad at this point. But the fact is, people are not open to any kind of conversation. They just want to oversimplify things and say, oh, there's a magic bottom where you hit the US invasion and boom, we're there in a couple of months. Everything's right? Good.
Max, I understand, but these are keyboard warriors. This is Clubhouse.
No.
Even if it is, hold on, but Max, even if it is somehow magically reflective of Iranian society in general, like Paymon is actually saying in the chat, people they can have their opinions. It's what it is. None of us control what's going to happen, right? And if they want to say, attack is going to lead to our freedom, then let them think that. No one on Clubhouse else has the power to change anyone else's opinion. The most you can do is express your opinion, your points of view. If that resonates with someone else, then maybe they go think about it if they're critical thinkers.
I propose a challenge. I have this profile pic, hands off Iran, right? It triggers people. I don't understand. Like this profile picture, I propose a challenge. Let me get on board in any.
As well. It would trigger me.
Okay, hold on.
That's a lie. That's a lie. No one is after Iran. That's basically nonsense. What does that mean? Hands off Iran. What does that even mean?
Hands off. What do you mean? What is very clear?
Do you
hands
mean no intervention, no military attack? What does it mean?
No, that's not what he means. So he means like U.S. is magically looking for Iranian oil. It's looking for something. They're after Iran to gain their money.
State his opinion. Okay, Max, what do you mean?
No bombs for Iran. Do you want to propose something else, right?
Hold on, Max. First, explain before you ask questions. Explain what do you mean by hands off Iran, so that we can debate the point.
I'll just let Iranian affairs to them. Let them solve. I don't want.
Yeah, that would trigger everyone. That would trigger me.
Okay. So and that's my point. You see, Taco. If I get on a clubhouse room, any room you guys pick, and say nothing, no words, just the profile picture, and say no war with Iran, and then immediately you're kicked out. So this just shows how not ready we are for freedom of speech, for democracy, so that we're not in a good place, to be honest.
Unfortunately, right now the No War campaign is supported, by IRGC. It's supported by NIAC. It's supported by all these people who, sympathize with the Iranian regime. No, I'm saying No War. The sentence had a context. The context, I'm explaining you the context. The context of no war on, for example, no war on Pakistan right now means a different context than no war on Iran. I'm saying the context of no war in Iran is like IRC, IR regime talking point. So that's why people get, people get triggered. And hands off Iran is even worse, because that's like literally like 47 years of like talking point of the IR regime. So that's like I'm okay with no bombs, like no bomb for Iran, but like hands off Iran, I get immediately triggered.
No bombs for Iran in these rooms. Fine, but I will turn around the argument and say immediate war for Iran is the main talking point of Iranians, mainly in diaspora.
No, it's not. No. No one came to street. No one came to street and asked the U.S. to please bomb us. Literally, no one did that.
Yeah, not in the streets, but on the clubhouse. Guys who have
Max, stop getting triggered by Clubhouse. Clubhouse is just a stupid app, okay? It's like the comments section of any post on Twitter, okay? Because when people can just talk without anyone actually holding them accountable, they're gonna say some wild shit. And there's people here on this app that just want to troll. There's people that would say something to you on Clubhouse, but wouldn't dare fucking say it in your face if they saw you in person, okay? So don't get triggered by Clubhouse. It's just a stupid fucking app, and people just come here to talk. That's all it is, okay? We're not influencing world decisions. All we're doing here is expressing our own opinions, and then maybe that sheds a light on somebody else to go, have a different point of view on a topic. That's all it is. That is, I can talk till my face is blue. I will not convince Reza Pahlavi supporters of certain things. It's just what it is. So I'm trying to tell you, don't do that. If you're gonna learn something, discuss what Arya, Velvet, and I are saying, and we discuss with each other. Like Arya and Velvet have made some points that I've been like, okay, I'm gonna go think about this a little bit, right? That's all it is. Then nobody has the official. Nobody's able to take a poll. Listen, no one can say they speak for all of Iran. Okay, everybody calls their family members or whatever they see on their Instagram or their Facebook or their Twitter or whatever, okay? And it's going to be mainly the people that they associate with. No one has gone and done an official poll of 90 90 million Iranians and 10 million outside to say, this is what 60 million people uniformly think. So we got to stop fucking saying all the people in Iran think this or think that, okay? Nobody knows. We say what we think, and you're responsible for what you think.
I never said that, and I'm surprised. I mean, Velvet and Arya make that point that all people are, so I never said.
I didn't think you did. What I'm saying is the people who, like when you say if you go into a room, they all get triggered and they all say this or that. What I'm telling you is they don't speak for all of Iran. They're speaking for their own point of view. And that point of view, they will talk comfortably on Clubhouse because you may be 5,000 miles away from them, right? If they see you in person and say that to you, that takes more courage. If they don't say it, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't get, it sounds to me like you get agitated when you put that PTR up and go into a room. What I'm telling you is it shouldn't bother you. You should stand on your own principles, whatever they are. That's it. And you're not going to change their point of view. Most likely they're not going to change yours. You exchange ideas, man. That's the point of Clubhouse.
Sure. But we had a discussion here that I think we disagreed, and I want to get to the bottom of it. The discussion was, should people who are hopeful and excited about this upcoming war, should they be held responsible if things go wrong? Or no, it happens just like that. That profile picture for me is, I want to be on the record saying that, I think this is going to go wrong. I'll be on the record personally. So, and then come back future and say, look, guys, my friends, look, you all were excited.
Did you apologize for what you did in 2009? Did you apologize for what you did in 2009?
What did I do? I was bringing first year.
So you went to. No. I'm talking about. You said you voted for Mousavi. You went to street.
I was an idiot. I agree.
Okay, and 200 people get killed. Did you apologize for what you did back then?
Look, 200 people were killed. I apologize that. I apologize that I was backing the wrong guy back there, but I apologize for that. But that didn't result in.
What do you mean?
Can we be honest here? I mean, voting for someone in an election versus begging a foreign power to drop bombs on your people is a bit different.
No. I'm not saying. I didn't ask him to apologize for what he voted for. I'm not even. I'm not even interested to know what he voted for. He said in 2008 or 2009 he did some civil work or civil, act or protest or whatever to, show his opposition against the regime. And during those times, 200 people died, and Max was one of the people who take part in the protest. So I'm asking, did he apologize for what he did? Because what he did resulted in
a bit different, though, Arya.
No, that's the same thing. That's the exact same
in your own country to protest the government. Way different than asking for a foreign country, the strongest one in the world, to come.
Everyone right now is asking for free Iran. Everyone has his own way.
Don't say everyone
want free Iran.
Arya, listen to me. Hold on 1 second, Jack. Listen, what we're trying to say. Listen. So you're saying if one person supports something and 200 people get killed, and another person supports something and 2 million people get killed, those are exactly the same thing?
They're not exactly the same thing. Both people are trying to get freedom through different means.
200 people, but so and ordinary people are not as important than politicians. Reza Pahlavi has clearly asked for the foreign intervention. You can't deny that. He has clearly asked for that.
For the record, even before these round of protests, just during the 12-day war, I strongly advocated foreign intervention, even if these round of protests had not happened, even if Reza had not advocated for it, and I strongly, again, advocate foreign intervention, because as I said, there's no other way. And I really consider the kind of argument that we should apologize for the peacefully opposing opposing this regime during the Green Movement, which I also was directly involved. So why would I know that Arya is trying to use Max's argument against him, but the fact that he's happy to say yes, I apologize, it doesn't make his argument true. No one should apologize for opposing this regime and taking to the streets and even asking for foreign intervention. I won't apologize for it. I won't apologize for it, and I would be triggered if I see that hands on. The only occupying force who's killing Iranians right now is the Islamic regime, and there is no other way to get rid of them.
Okay, Velvet, hold on one second. Let me moderate this conversation. Okay, let's not make this an ego thing. Okay, Max, you're saying hands off. Okay, but you also want this regime to be gone. Is that correct?
No. Let me be two
Hold on, just okay. Before
sure.
Just say yes or no.
Okay.
Is it a yes?
Okay, I'm gonna confess to something. Hands off your look.
Hold on, Max. I want to have a back and forth with you. I'm explaining my standalone.
Hear me out.
First, tell me just listen, please. Just tell me 51% yes, 49% no. Do you want this regime gone? Yes or no?
200%, yeah, 1,000%.
Okay,
yeah.
so explain to us in your vision, how would that happen? When you say people of Iran doing it, how do you want the people of Iran to do it?
Number one, I'm still hoping for a better guy to show up. I think that the opposition would be really disappointed with him pretty soon. We'll see about that, because I think they picked the wrong guy. The whole argument for him is, million people called his name in 1899. That argument can just turn around pretty soon. Like if he makes another call and then people don't show up, are we gonna? So he doesn't have on his own qualifications. That's number one. So I'm hoping for another leader. Even if it's tomorrow, I'll back him off and say, let's go all the way. With him, I'm hesitant. One.
Okay, Max, tell us what qualities would this leader have? Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. Tell us what would this leader, what values are you looking for a leader? But hold on, Max. Let's on better bien pointing at it, okay? Tell me, what qualities would this leader have? And would it be from inside Iran? Would it be from outside Iran? How would they garner the support? What would they do correctly? Try to leave Reza Pahlavi out of your answer, okay?
Sure. One, be brave. I think he's not brave. So when he clearly said, I'm not willing to risk my freedom at all, and Arya said, I think he's going to get on a plane to go to Iran. Yeah, I honestly don't think so. One, be brave. I don't think he's brave. Two, I wanted a leader that has some sort of achievement in his life. Like everyone else I know in my life, around me, my coworkers, but they've had really good achievements in their life. Either landed good jobs, did a good business, got a good degree, did something in their life, right? I don't see it with him. It's honestly, for me, it's surprising that people don't see that. Like and I absolutely love his father, his grandfather. But just like many other examples in the family, a good father can land not the best child. I see that him as that example. 2, 3. I think I most certainly hope someone shows up inside Iran. If that happens, they're gonna be jailed, tortured, etc. But I think it could be effective. We had that in 2008, but I don't know why people at the time, probably they were not hungry, or they didn't show up. Kennedy was asking for people to show up. They just faded away. We can go back and talk about that. But he's outside Iran. He has no skin in the game. He has nothing to lose if things go wrong. He's not brave. He doesn't have achievements.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, but let's continue past. Okay, someone who's brave, someone who has achievements, and someone who's in Iran. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some viable questions to test your theory. Okay, because you just mentioned right now that if they were an opposition leader within Iran, they could get jailed and it could somehow be effective. Okay, let's not talk about somehow could be effective. Let's talk about actually what could be done. Are you looking at this person how are they going to garner support enough to lead to a successful revolution? And leave Reza Pahlavi out of your answers. Just talk directly to whoever this figure is, the symbol that you're hoping out for. How would this person do such a thing? Just explain. Would they, let me, this isn't a trick. This isn't like a got you question. I'm not trying to condescend you. I want to know, okay? So you find someone who's in Iran, okay? This person has a lot of the qualities of Reza Pahlavi's grandfather. He has some achievements, but he's maybe he's a business guy, someone within Iran. What does he do to not get arrested and permanently jailed? What does he do to garner support in order to be able to lead a successful revolution? Let's talk about that. That's the actual answer we got to get to.
Believe it or not, as much as people want to pretend that there's no religious guy left in Iran, I still think that at least a quarter of Iranians are unfortunately religious, right? The guy the right candidate should be somewhat appealing to the religious parts of the Iranian society as well. So, as much as I hate this guy, Mir Hossein Mousavi, right? He's an idiot. He's Imam's like golden times or something. But forget about that. I'm just making him as an example. I clearly saw him appealing to chunks of the religious people in Iran. But Reza Pahlavi, in my opinion, he has no chance to appeal to IRGC.
Max, stop talking about Reza Pahlavi.
No.
Ignore Pahlavi.
Sure.
Just ignore him.
Okay. Just someone who can appeal to religious people as well, because these guys, IRGC, they're gonna fight to the last man. Unfortunately, they're not motivated by money. They want to give up their life in what they believe in. They're gonna kill everyone in their fight. So that's what worries me. I know these people. They're really crazy, and it's not a Venezuela. These guys believe in Khamenei. I know people who would who just pray.
Max, I want to center you. I want to guide you in this conversation, okay? Again, don't tell them how crazy they are. Tell them, give us like a fairy tale. Like let's say you and Jerry Bruckheimer are directing a movie called Freedom, Liberation of Iran, okay? And you're trying to set a vision amongst the Iranian people of how an Iranian leader in Iran who is somewhat religious is able to stoke a revolution.
The right candidate who has never fought religion or has said so that guy shows up and he has a polarizing character. He in the sense that he divides elements within the government and IRGC. So he has to have a religious talking point as well as freedom and nationalistic. If it's fully nationalistic, I doubt anyone's going to convert within the hardcore IRGC. I highly doubt that. So that's the right candidate. But I think we could have someone like that. But at this point, I don't know. It seems like it's just one man option.
Okay. All right. Let's let some other people talk. Velvet, go ahead. You put a fifth.
Yeah, thank you. So I think what Max was proposing, he's just, depicting an imaginary scenario. I mean, first of all, you cannot deny, of course, 100% of Iranians don't think the same. Yeah, there are some religious people, but I would argue that the majority of Iranians are not only non-religious, but a significant amount of them, at least, are anti-religion. So if we all agree on that, you cannot deny that such people exist, right? Me, for instance, I am an person. But let me make my argument. The point is, no one character can mobilize 100% of Iranians. That's the first thing that we need to agree upon. Okay, so if, for instance, such imaginary magical person, is created inside Iran, pretends not to be Mirhostari because so at the end of the day, you just have to look at what is on the ground. You cannot just ask for people to wait, the people who are hungry, the people who are angry, the people who have suffered by this regime, to just be patient for such a magical person to show up in Iran, and then hope for that person to be able to mobilize the Iranians, who's a significant amount of them anti-religion and wouldn't in any way be, impressed by any person who is he has sort of religious character, as you're saying, and then for you to start supporting that movement. Sorry, we will not wait for you to go move on from your hesitation. You should just look at the atrocities of this regime and the fact that in the long run, there is no way we can change anything about either behavior or nature of this regime. This is a regime that has two main objectives. First, it's survival. Second, exporting its ideology beyond its border.
We all know what this regime is trying to
So my apologies. I apologize, but we will not wait for you to go beyond your hesitation to support this revolution.
Sure.
The majority of Iranians don't wait for you because they're hungry, they're angry. As I said, they have joined the biggest, I don't know how to say Daryacha in English, but the biggest sort of sea in Iran. Look at the weather, look at the economy, look at the women's rights. We are still fighting for women's rights. Look at everything. You cannot expect people to wait for you to start supporting them.
Okay, Velvet, hold on, Velvet and Max, hold on 1 second, please. Velvet, the reason I was asking Max what his opinions are, this isn't if you and Max fight it out about what you need to do versus what I need to do versus what Arya needs to do, that doesn't solve anything, okay? The way we get to, a possible new thoughts, something that we can actually debate, is to hear each other out fully and say, okay, Max, I don't agree with your opinion, but here's what I see as a viable solution, okay? Or here are the reasons that I'm not afraid, or here are the risks I see, here's the risk mitigations I see to war. We gotta get past attacking one another and to provide better solutions, because you guys can argue for 10 hours about this and that and why you think this versus why I think that. Let's provide solutions. And the solutions can be opinions. The solutions can be opinions, that's fine, right? But to go after, attack, hey, I believe most Iranians want this, most think that. I'm just saying not saying you're wrong, just saying it's not going to lead to productive conversation. Okay?
Absolutely. So I'll provide some solutions, right? Let's